Sometimes things are just that important.
Okay, chaps and chapettes, welcome back to another video of the Couch of Serenno podcast. Today, obviously we're joined by Dark, Chris,
Hello.
and Bryce. How are we today?
Hola.
I'm pretty good, actually. I don't know. I've been better.
That's actually good. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I am
Damn.
now referred to as Chapstick, but that's okay.
Well, I just wanted to stick with the English roots, you know.
Yeah.
Damn, alright, next time I'll
That
say
was-
compas y compadres.
And then I'll say, smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Alright, so let's talk about our days.
Yeah, how's your day, Bryce?
Pretty tiring. I did like 2 different essays of sorts. Or like 2 different finals and tests, so like that was fun.
I have 4 of those
stressful.
I need to do after this, yes.
Yeah, no, you have my condolences, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to when my next quarter starts, because I can get a fresh start, and yeah, no, that's mainly my my thought process, how I feel.
I've been doing a whole lot of nothing this entire time, so.
Impressive.
Yeah.
I wish I could feel the same.
I mean, yeah, the only thing I had to do was like a month's work in 2 weeks, or like a week and a half, so that's obnoxious, but yeah.
That sounds like
now,
it.
it's alright.
Oh yeah. So, wait, we talked about, yeah, everyone talked. Nice.
Alright.
So
we need to get into our topic, yeah.
Yeah, so for this episode, I don't know who came up with the idea. Of
Me?
Us.
It was Dark.
Nice to go on Dark. So, do you want to explain your idea? Because I'm not entirely sure. I don't think I know as much how you came up with that idea. So, talk about
well,
that briefly.
I would love to talk about that, but I am currently being Chris. I am currently machine gunning people right now. I'm sorry, Chris. Okay, Bazinga, yeah, you're hilarious. Anyway.
Okay, alright, so I guess I'll get into it. So Dark had the idea of doing a kind of horror podcast, where we watch kind of creepy or interesting videos that are obviously dark in nature, and talk about them. So we sent them around. So we either watch them and discuss our thoughts and ideas of what we watched. So that is the general consensus of what
Tangents
we were doing.
are allowed, of course.
Yeah, obviously.
That's like a common.
It's what makes podcasts, yeah.
Yeah.
And I plan on going into some as well. There are some interesting ones that we passed around, and then some that are just creepy.
There's some kind of.
All right, so
yeah.
what should be the first one we talk about?
Dark
There's a lot,
scene.
yeah.
I think we should go with Darks. I don't know. I thought that's just me.
Fine. Alright, here's...
Don't mind.
Uh-oh. Are we wanting to go over all of mine? Like, in an order?
I
Or
mean,
are we
just
just pick one of mine?
Yeah, just pick one. Pick one you think that will get things going, I guess. I just...
Alright, I'll start with... Well, I'll start with the, I don't know how to pronounce it. Should probably have figured that out.
Which one are you talking about?
Gentlemen.
The Dyatlov Pass
Oh, the
incident?
Dyatlov Pass.
Yeah.
I did find that one pretty interesting.
Yeah, that was the main one I was wanting to show you guys.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that really interests me, like just straight up mysteries and
Yeah.
Like, kind of like
stuff like that.
I see what you mean. So like
Wait.
Okay, oh, you suck. Sorry.
Oh, wait a
There's
minute.
2 though. Oh, okay.
Yeah, wait, no. Bazinga and I are both Darth Maul right now.
Wait, huh?
How does that happen?
Anyways, I meant to rewatch these videos, so I might need a little assistance here recapping it. I did not rewatch
I watched
them.
it just yesterday. Yeah.
Awesome, okay.
I watched it this morning, but I forgot like 75% of that, so.
Alright.
Good sign.
what the Dyatlov Pass incident was is it's a case that happened in Russia with a bunch of hikers, like I think a bunch of college
9.
students. 9 hikers.
It was 9
Uh,
hikers.
they were all like college students. And they were going on a hike. Nice little
There's
hike
a case file right next to it. Sorry.
down the Dyatlov Pass. I think there's a movie based after this actually. I think I
That's
saw.
interesting.
Yeah, but
I think I know what you may be thinking of.
but basically what happened is they all went on it and they all died. Except for one that left like a day before they all died.
Yeah, the 10th hiker decided to book it because
Yeah,
he was sick.
Yeah. So he canceled.
And little did he know it saved his life.
Yeah, and then all of his friends died, and that's very sad. But but I think it's interesting. Well, the reason why it's so interesting and why it's so popular is because there's little to no explanation on how they did die.
Yeah. And like most of the explanations that are given have problems with them, so it's like almost impossible to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like from what you
They're
from what you describe
creepy
like that,
too.
it sounds like it's creepy, but then like it sounds like like an actual like mystery that like like a long case that hasn't been solved for like years, something like that type of deal.
Yeah.
It kind of makes it interesting, like setup or something.
Yeah. What makes it interesting? I'll talk a little bit about what happened to all of them. So most of them died from hypothermia. Like, if I'm mistaken, 6 of them died from hypothermia. But on their bodies, there were several like bruises and scrapes and like some like cracks on skulls and stuff like that. And there's like literally there's little to no reason that can explain that. And so obviously people are like bringing up theories like crazy of what it could be. And the thing I found the most interesting is the fact that 2 of them were found slightly irradiated. Like the radiation was found on them, which I think is the most bizarre. Because how did that happen?
Yeah.
And also like
it
makes sense
like a
that
chemical plant on the train wire. I don't know.
What?
Like a chemical plant. Like if there's radiation on them, like I don't understand. Like
yeah, but no, that's the thing is they were in the middle of nowhere. They were literally on top of a mountain.
That was just a joke.
Yeah.
That was just.
Yeah, like it makes sense that most of them died from hypothermia, but let me get to the ones that didn't. The ones that didn't were found with like broken rib cages, and like I know one of them had like 3 of them had like their eyes gouged out somehow, and one of them had straight up their tongue ripped off, which who knows how that happened. It's also very interesting. It kind of suggests that there was some kind of struggle, but again, it's literally impossible to tell.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I find that like it's super interesting and like
No, it is. It's super.
Yeah, it's super interesting and scary. It's a very interesting topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
stupid. Are you done with that? Because I have something to kind of relate back to this. It's not even anything related to it, but like it just reminded me of another story. So like,
how's that feel, buddy?
Have you guys played or heard of Until Dawn? The game, PS4 exclusive. Yeah. So
I've heard
with that game, there is these sort of there's these humans that turn like monsters called the Wendigo, right? And they gone insane due to some like sort of like energy or entity or some sort. And they essentially turned them into like insane. They started like eating people, and they started becoming like being inhuman mostly. And I just like the fact that they have like that kind of just the fact that you mentioned that they have radiation on me gives me that idea that maybe I don't like it could be that just there's like some other force or entity from that, because like I mean with little to what we know, that kind of just gets me thinking like wow, like I'm just very curious like whoever
Okay,
came
but
up with
Until
that,
Dawn
or how
is a
that
game.
Until Dawn is a good game. Yeah, I enjoy that game a lot.
We're talking about like real We're talking about like real, like in a real event.
Yeah, no,
that's like what makes it.
Yeah, okay. Wait, that's a real event?
The Dyatlov Pass. Yeah, these are real people that died.
Yeah, it really happened.
Kind of.
Oh, now I feel stupid. Okay.
What did you? Were you think I was talking about a
I-
game or a movie, a fictional movie?
No, I was playing to the story back to Until Dawn because based off the information that you told me.
Oh.
I didn't compare it. I basically I just related it back. That's what I thought of. Now that I'll stop talking now because I don't know much clearly. So
Well,
I'll just go back to
Wendigos are like they're a cryptid like mythos.
No,
Yeah,
Wendigos-
it's an Indian legend.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah,
Indian
it's an
thing.
Indian legend.
Whenever you
Yeah.
like eat people, you turn into one. Yeah, you resort to cannibalism, you turn into one.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They even, like change their face and everything like that.
yeah,
I was actually really scared
Mimic
of when I
people.
was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a book. Like it was a book on cryptids that I got from like a Scholastic thing.
Oh, I got
And
one. I love
yeah.
those. I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
Wait, from Scholastic?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was like a book on cryptids, and it was super interesting. And
Did
as a
it
kid, I
have the
believed
Did it have the
everything- yeah.
giant catfish one? Did it have like the super huge catfish that ate people?
I don't
That was from
remember.
Scholastic?
Yeah,
Scholastic.
I got
remember
one of
Scho-
those books.
I don't-
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
Scholastic being
yeah.
like that.
Dude, it was great.
Yeah.
Your Scholastic
I-
sucked. And...
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
clearly. Like I've been like
And
I've been
I would always get those books, and I would get cheat code books. And I remember, like, yeah, I remember that's how I always cheated to unlock all the costumes in Force Unleashed, because I got.
Well,
I remember just a passage from that book, the cryptid book I had, was actually talking about the Datelov Pass incident. I didn't
Really?
realize it was that until I watched the video of the Dark Sent, and I was like, oh yeah, the book was talking about this, and it kind of related everything back to like
very cool.
you know, Yetis. Obviously, I don't think it was Yetis real life, but that's kind of what, like, you know, they used.
I
stuff
feel like
that,
it was an
'cause obviously the
animal.
book, yeah. It could have been. It would also. What was also
I mean,
weird
we
is that,
don't
like,
know
no
everything in the
tracks were
world.
found. Yeah, no tracks were found near where the bodies were. You know,
Yeah.
discovered.
Weren't some of them like without clothes, or like they took clothes
Yeah,
off?
a
Then
lot
again,
of
it
them
was
had like
snowing,
very few clothes and stuff like that. That's why most of them died of hypothermia, because they left their
Yeah.
like. A lot of people are saying like, the mystery isn't like how they died; it's why they left their tents in such a hurry. Something obviously spooked them to the point where they had to leave minimally dressed in like a blizzard up at a high mountain.
I feel
So,
like it was an
something
animal.
must have something must have spooked them
Because
bad.
it was snowing, so that could like cover the like tracks
Yeah,
as well.
the thing is,
so,
it didn't cover their tracks though, because their tracks are still like, you could see their tracks, and their tracks were preserved. So if their tracks were preserved, obviously, whatever else was theirs track would have been preserved as well. It's what makes it even more of a mystery. And also,
Yeah, wow.
there's another thing I want to talk about too when it comes to this, is that there was a part 3, Dark.
I know.
There was a
Yes,
part 3
I know.
Yeah.
that kind
you
of
didn't
goes
send it.
into a different explanation.
God dang it, Chris! I was gonna bring that up at the end.
I feel like
Yeah.
you did this intentionally.
I did do it intentionally. I'd already sent so many videos though. I was like, it's another 20-minute video. I'm just not gonna send it, but like I'll just go into it later
Chris
because
has,
it's
like,
off.
I'm telling you, Chris has the case files.
I feel bad for saying
He did research.
His aunt.
He-
Yeah.
He did research.
He has a file
He
next
just-
to him on his lap right now. as we speak.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So the part 3 goes into a different explanation that like some Swedish explorers, like in Sweden, a similar event happened with also 9 travelers, but it wasn't that much of a mystery because everybody knew what happened. It was basically a particular kind of weather. It was like, I forget what the weather's called, but it's like a really strong wind, and people were suspecting that, like, right, this wind was like blowing rocks and like sticks and stuff like that,
Oh shit.
and that's what caused them to have the injuries they have. And
I don't think that's the
which-
case.
it's an interesting thing. You'd have to why they go into even further depth. The biggest problem I have is that doesn't explain the radiation.
What the tongue?
And there was also I didn't explain this, but there was also burn marks on some of the people, which
That-
like
That makes a little sense. Like just the
Yeah.
idea of them like trying to make a fire because they know they're gonna die of hypothermia and like they end up burning
Yeah.
themselves trying to preserve it or something.
Radiation.
Yeah. I know that the video did talk about like how it was possible that they could have obtained the radiation from the school they visited beforehand. which I mean I don't know what happens in university, but do they usually like mess around with uranium or stuff like that, or anything that's
Yeah,
It
radioactive?
is
That's kind
Russia.
of weird.
I imagine.
It is Russia.
You're right,
I
it
don't
is
know.
Russia. They're probably like
Yeah,
nukes
they
or something.
fight better, so I wouldn't put it past them.
We just lost our one. We just lost our one Russian viewer.
Like they can make traps in like making like weapons. I don't know, like they can anything can happen.
Yeah,
There. I don't know.
it's pretty but like if you haven't watched part 3, I suggest watching it because it does go into a pretty good explanation of like what possibly could have happened, and a lot of it does account for what might have happened, but I still think that there is still some inconsistencies with that story. It's just going back to the previous
Yeah.
videos of how like there are problems with every theory.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't even
And-
explain the
yeah.
tongue being ripped out.
Yeah,
Because how it sticks and stones
yeah.
rip the tongue out.
yeah, it's
Makes
eyes and
sense
stuff
at
like
all.
that. It did explain that like apparently when it comes to because they had a theory that the 3 people who had their eyes gouged out and stuff like that were decomposing in water, and apparently
Ooh.
when you decompose in water, like some of the first things to go are your tongue and eyes, which I don't know how that works, but apparently that's the case.
Maybe it's just the tissue. It
They
makes
put
sense.
face first.
Yeah, well, it's specifically the eyes and tongue, which I guess
Yeah.
might have something to do with them being mostly liquid and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
That's
what
a
I
lot
was.
of people. Yeah. Still pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I'm really glad that you did all that research, so I didn't have to talk about my
Yeah,
video
bro.
that much. But it's all right. That's what I wanted to lead with. Does anyone else have any other comments on it? Oh, real quick, I want to talk about that channel actually. This is all of the links to the videos. I have a playlist of all of the videos that we watched. I'll have in the description. It is
Yeah.
unlisted, but it's literally every video we're going to talk about in this podcast. And this is from a channel that I was actually recommending. I think before we had this idea. Was it before this idea?
Yeah, it
We
was
had-
before
Yeah.
we had this
It
idea.
was
Yeah, we were
really
talking
late
about like
3 a.m.
we were talking about like conspiracy theories and stuff like that, and our favorite stuff like that. So this is one of the first channels that I recommended, and it's called Bedtime Stories. And what it is that the guy goes over stories like these with like illustrations, and I mean it is what it sounds like. But there's a couple. I'm just saying there's like a couple videos with this channel, and I want to have them like as a shout out too, because it's really interesting stuff.
Yeah, super interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do recommend this channel. Like, it's pretty
I
interesting.
feel which one of their videos
I've had some other
I
recommendations as well.
recommended once, but I don't know it's them.
Yeah, that can happen.
All right. Does anyone else
All
have
right, so yeah.
anything they want to say about those videos?
Something I said and I felt stupid about it, so I'd rather not.
Okay. All right. That's a
Um,
great way to feel on a podcast. All right. No, Bazinga.
All right, so I guess we go on to the next topic, which should be the next
Yeah.
video we talk about.
Rotate
Restrictions
between each
there, huh?
person's videos.
Yeah, so
yeah.
I can do mine. I can do mine. Mine's a bit more. So I'll explain a bit more about it. Hold on, actually, I do not remember the name about it on top of my head. Give me a moment. Which one? The Dogman one? Yeah, I was talking about the Dogman one. Is that one?
That was
Oh.
really weird.
Okay, yeah. So it is hella weird. Like I was like, why was I sent
And I had
this?
no context, that could be why. but-
Yeah. Yeah, no, and there's a lot of like when I looked into him, I was like, huh, oh, wow, okay, what a weird concept and way of elaborating this idea. But how it plays out was that it's basically the idea that a dog is a man's best friend, and
Yes.
like basically the man would ask the dog for help for like how it would deal with problems and so forth and so on, and then at the end it said get a tumor being was like the seeds and like how it was like growing out of him, and the man blamed the dog for his pain and stuff like that, and killed the dog and so on and so forth. And like on face value, it's like okay, a psychopath, and so basically the reason why he killed him was because he blamed him for his pain and stuff like that, and like, he killed the dog. but the tumor was actually supposed to represent how friends are to people and how and how people like treat the good friends and like kind of like stab their back as well. So the tumor was representing like one influencing the other thing, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm poor in my elaboration here.
Huh.
But
Yeah, I'd say like I probably know the least about this, so I can't really say much. But that sounds pretty interesting.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
Did you
I
watch it?
always like.
There's more to it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure,
like
but,
the stuff with hitting meaning like this is always pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, no.
I
It's like,
can't say
especially so
probably,
out of there. It was so out of there. I was so curious about like why it has so many views. I was like, what is?
I didn't even get that
story?
it had a hidden meaning when I watched it. It looked just like a
Yeah.
creepy,
He's just like creepy for the sake of being
Yeah,
creepy.
just a random, yeah.
exactly. That's why I literally thought of it, and like, oh, I was like, okay, surely there's something to this because this person sent this to me, and like, I highly doubt they would just do that and just like, ha ha ha, this is creepy. So yeah, no, it gave me at face value, maybe it wouldn't have sparked curiosity, but just based off like from what this person and like our relationship, I was just like, okay, let me just dig deeper. And I'm actually very surprised by that. Yeah, no, like it's usually that stuff is like kind of how most things on the internet is, say creepy for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No. 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 That is really all it is. It kind of just debunked everything, huh? Anything else you want to add on to it?
There's one thing, I don't know if you've, I could just be being ignorant, I don't know
Yeah,
if
no,
you
we
said
all
it already, but the guy becomes the dog, I'm pretty sure, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
So,
I didn't
the
completely
hell does that mean?
understand. I actually do not know.
Like he kills him, like then kills himself and becomes
I
the
mean,
dog.
whenever you hang out with friends, if that's literally is the meaning of it, whenever you hang out with friends for a super long time, you sort of do become, start
Yeah,
sharing
that person that
manners.
that quality.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a good
that
point.
backstab
I
quality.
mean, we talked about this before. Of like, I would always say good stuff, and now like every now and then I catch you guys saying it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's something like I've
That is
always
true.
said.
That is
And
very
it's the
true.
same
We
thing
have a
as
lot of
like
things
That's
like
kinda
that.
true.
What are
Yeah.
some other
Yeah.
things we say like that?
Yeah, we could probably think of a lot of stuff like
We-
that. Off the top of my head, I
like,
can't think of anything.
We've been through
Home
some
slice?
phases as well. Home slice,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
didn't
started
know
home
that.
slice.
You know, I've never once
So
said
you've
that,
chosen death.
and I will continue to not say it.
Me and Bazinga has like been saying you've chosen death, and then Bazinga
Yeah.
took okay buddy from me, and then yeah, no, yeah, we have history. We have history, to say
Yeah.
the least. Yeah, no, that's actually, damn. And so that's the thing, because like with stuff like this, like, it can be interpreted differently.
Home
It can
slice
be
is
interpreted- things do-
a
like,
classic.
like if like the yeah the like, that's like something I'll like call my friends that now. I'll call my friends homie now. I don't just call you that. I call like my friend across the street homie. It's like, yo, what's good, homie? I don't do that on a
Slice.
daily basis. I mean,
Home slice is very different than homie though.
yeah, no, it depends. It depends on the homie. I can be calling my little sister home slice, my little home slice.
Nice.
We're
Alright.
just
Call
gonna
my
grow
dick.
up saying home slice now.
That
Yeah,
was
no, yeah, it's crazy because when you think about that, like, that's kind of crazy how like influences work based off like something so minuscule and stupid. Like we came up with that from jokes. It came up through the idea of calling each other home slice and homie through a joke from
No.
Bazinga. Pretty
We're-
much,
It
you
was
know,
dark
am
because I didn't even know what it
Yeah, that-
meant, and then he explained
then
it,
there's-
and it became
Yeah.
a meme. That's really cool, by
Yeah.
the way.
That looks sick.
It's a lot
Um,
here.
Nice.
Alright, well I guess that's it for that video.
Oh, I
No.
just wanted to say that like I
Oh.
see a lot of like similarities between a video like this and something like, have you guys ever heard of like Salad Fingers?
Yeah.
Aww.
It really reminds me of that. I
Yeah.
don't know much
I
about
can
Salad
see that.
Fingers either, but like I know that it's just animated stuff with deeper meaning. First thing I think of is Salad Fingers, or even something like "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared," which always really
Oh.
creeped me out.
Yeah, that was creepy. We're talking about like ancient history YouTube.
Yeah, it's old, but like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
still, it reminds me of it. Yeah,
I don't think I fit that demographic.
yeah. Honestly, like "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared" still to this day really creeps me out.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
So, the video, or should I go? I should be the play here, and we're not getting shot at.
Help. Thank you. What were you saying? Are you saying to do a different video, or I
I
think
mean,
we're
yeah,
moving.
I already talked. Yeah,
You could do your
Yeah,
other video.
I just wanted to bring that
Oh,
up. How it reminded me of that.
we're gonna bring up my other video, the soup
Yeah.
video.
We can,
That was
yeah.
actually very weird.
Okay, yeah. So that one is also kind of a mystery.
I'm pretty sure that one is pretty like heavy on.
That was
like
creepier
you
to
gotta
me.
know the source material and all the hidden lore to understand.
All right. I actually
no one knows. I'm pretty sure, but Chris.
No,
Chris has the case file,
I got
so yeah.
I looked into it too. Well, go ahead.
Yeah. I just a while ago, I came into a video. Actually, I already told you guys how like usually the videos I watch explained videos, like the videos Bryce sent, and I actually watched a video of that same thing of someone explaining that. And it's not like it has a hidden meaning or anything like that. Of what I saw is that the person watching the person eat the soup is actually like an actual character that exists of like some like some company or like something like that. Yeah. And like as it's just pretty much someone took these suits and did something creepy for the sake of being creepy. And there's actually another video of something similar to this, and it's pretty much it's more of the same.
Yeah. Well, hold on. We should probably talk about the video real quick. What the video is it's like it's like a guy that's it's a guy that's sitting like at a table, and he's naked. His eyes are blurred out, and he's sitting there eating soup. Like really, like hungry too. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like he was.
Yeah, no, like he's just eating the soup in a very like he's
frantic
like he's
almost. Yeah. And then so he's eating it really frantically, and then someone opens the door, and it's like a guy in an outfit that's like it's a really creepy outfit. It's like a caricature thing, like there's no emotions, and I think the point of the character is that they don't have emotions because it's supposed to like you know, it's not supposed to. It's supposed to represent the guy that made its loneliness. So like it has no emotions, and like he comes up and there are two of them, and they start like patting him on the back, and then the guy starts crying, and like I was like, all right, that's weird, and I went down to the comment section, and then like it was talking about like how like what the main theory is that the guy starved him. They starved the guy for 4 days, and that what he's eating is his wife.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And
like,
that's
pretty messed up.
If you look a bit more into it, you learn that the people who actually did the video, like the character that the person is, it's a real life thing. Like it's like some ad or like kind of like something used for an ad. It's or like it's like an ad or a kids show or something like that. And like if you follow the person that like who the thing belongs to, you learn that actually had their suit stolen.
Yeah, and then he got sent the video. He got sent that video a few weeks later, I think.
Yeah, and these people are doing the they did this with that
stolen suits.
Yeah, with the stolen suit. It doesn't belong to them.
No, and that's the thing too, is that like something like that happening, that's totally like believable. Like that stuff probably actually happens.
That video was
and you might be watching like that happening. And that is freaky.
That video was released like 12 years ago on the dark web.
Yeah, that was really weird. Yeah.
9 years, a few years later on the.
I'm pretty sure the video I saw explaining it was by Scare Theater, but I'm not sure. I'll look more into it. We'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 100% sure it's not real.
Well, that's the thing. Well, that's the thing is they can't debunk
it
because they don't know who the original people are.
Yeah.
Because they're stolen. Yeah.
And then like, there's a second video of the guy kind of being more calm, and then they both are at the doorway, and then they run at him, and
there's a second video.
Yeah, there's a second video after that. And like like he's eating it more calmly, and the two guys both are at the door, and then like I think he stops eating actually, and they run at him. One of the guys run at him, and the screen goes black. still in that same chair eating.
Yeah. I remember there being a second video.
Didn't know that. It's pretty
Yeah,
weird.
it's very weird.
Very weird. It's like people were saying, yeah, there's like the wife thing just sounds.
There's video on about the one where like
That's super out
he
there.
ties up the guy.
Sorry?
There's like a completely other video.
Is there a
There's like
video?
he's wearing the same costume and he's got this guy like tied up.
Is it?
Or is that like a different video entirely?
Where did you see that?
I have no idea.
I just looked it up.
I think that's something
And
else.
it's like, yeah, he's wearing the same outfit, but I'm pretty sure it's a different guy. He's wearing like a
Yeah, I'm
um,
pretty sure
bowler hat.
I'm pretty sure it's just like
tied up.
copycats. Where it
Yeah.
originally came from was like a kids thing. Like
Was
it was like literally that guy's suits were stolen. It was,
I don't know if
wasn't
it
meant to
was
be harmful or anything like that.
specifically a kid's thing, but it was his act. Like it was his personal.
No, like the original thing wasn't meant to be creepy at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be creepy until some people took the outfit and it made it creepy.
Yeah.
And then
that makes more
I
sense.
did see that there was a second. I don't know what Bazinga's talking about. There might be a third. Might have came out. I watched this a while ago. But it also, if there is another thing like that, I'm pretty sure it's probably just copycats. You know, people just trying to emulate doing the same thing.
Maybe, yeah, that
But
makes
that's
a lot
add
of
more
sense.
to it.
So it might be. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
That's
mean,
very
it's
likely.
already really old, so like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You never
easy
know.
to just like the sources are really hard to really triangulate with how old the video is. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah,
weird.
that's
Yeah,
pretty
very
messed
weird.
up. And it's just like how personal it gets with like needless. Well, hold on. Why do you think that it's 100% fake? Like you don't like.
They were, I
Chris?
don't think if that happened, they would have recorded it.
No, it's total. You don't think that there are people out there that would record something like that and then just try to
yeah,
like.
I know,
That
there
was
are
released
messed
on
up
the-
people in the
That
world.
was
I know
released
that,
on like
but
the dark, not the dark web, like that wasn't even released on.
You're
YouTube,
not able
so,
to track down the source. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
that's
that's.
yeah, like I mean, like if like
Hold
it's
up.
like they did all that just for.
Yeah,
What?
I'll
Just
look into the
because
video explain because I seen a really good explanation of this video, and I'll look into it, see if I can find it again. I'll send it to you guys because I
Alright.
don't
Yeah.
remember the video verbatim, but they did a pretty good explanation of what was happening and what happened. And like, because like the video, the person I watched, like debunks a lot of this kind of stuff, so they know what they're doing. But because I don't remember, who it was of. I'm pretty sure it was Scare Theater, but I'm not sure. So I'll look into it and send it to you guys.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense for it to be.
But then, like, I know, like,
real
I
somewhat.
wouldn't doubt that stuff. Like, I mean, the world is it's a crazy and messed up place, and
Yeah,
That-
so
That
true.
seems to be. Like, keep in mind, that's like that's clearly in a different part of the world. Like, this is that's
Yeah,
that's
for
like
sure.
in like like the guy.
I
like,
mean,
the
I mean,
captain is,
like messed up stuff can happen anywhere, and obviously
Yeah,
messed up
yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
happens in the U.S. as well, or UK.
Pause.
I think it's on different like levels, or like in different ways.
Mhm. It's just there's a lot of stuff that kind of happens like this that you think is creepy, but then can also be like plausibly
some-
explained by someone just doing it for the sake of doing it. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's what
I
makes it
think-
creepy to me is that
Yeah.
is that it could very
It
clearly
has
like
no clear source.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's
There's so much we don't know.
believable. It's as believable as it is debunkable.
Like fake.
Yeah.
It's just it was what as a kid I believe like literally any kind of creepy thing I saw out there I always went with the thing
Go
of
for
like
A, huh?
why would someone do something like this, like there's no way they'd do this on purpose, so obviously it's real. But then like as I got older I realized that's really a bad way of looking at things because people fake stuff all the time just for the sake of faking it, and so like it gets to the point where like I don't know, like I was going back to the book talking about all the cryptids. As a kid I believed every single story that was in there. Because I was like, why would so many people lie about this kind of thing? And obviously, people lie because they want, the 5
Attention,
minutes of
clout.
fame or whatever and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing
So,
is that
like-
like you don't know who they are. So
Yeah.
it's like it's not like they're
Yeah, but then
I
there's a lot
know,
of
it's
creepy
just
stuff
that
for the
stuff,
sake
like-
of being creepy. Say a lot
Yeah.
of stuff on the dark web too. Like it's like you go on it and like this is some creepy video. It's nothing new. People do it just because like, oh look, it's creepy, and stuff like that.
yeah.
And you put it on the dark web, it makes you think that like, oh look, it's real. But then like, the thing about the dark web is that like, a lot of people find it really scary, but it's a genuinely real thing that people use. A lot of people use for their everyday life. Obviously, not everything in the dark web is super illicit. Like people use it for genuine reasons. I know, like the reason it was created was because, like the U.S. military or something like that created it, so they can send like transmissions like completely hidden. But they wanted everyone to have access to it, so you wouldn't know who is using it.
Yeah.
So like, just the point I'm making is just because it's on the dark web doesn't make it real.
Well, yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, no, that's plausible.
Yeah,
But
I'm not saying that
on
like
the dark web,
YouTube.
but yeah, because obviously dark web gives like criminals access to do these different kinds of things like Silk Road and stuff like that.
I'm not saying that like
But
I believe it's real or that like
yeah,
I'm just saying
I
like
what you're saying.
the possibility is what's creepy.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
lot
or
of
the fact
evidence
that
leaning
that
both
just
sides.
does happen, even without being recorded. Ugh. All right. Well, yeah, Chris, I think it's time for your local 58.
Oh, the local 58.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, this is the local 58 thing is something I've looked into for a very long time, and it's something I genuinely find very interesting.
Getting on for years.
Yeah. It's a super creepy like little YouTube miniseries that I always found very intriguing, and obviously I watched videos explaining it. My favorite obviously is the one I sent you guys, the one by Nexpo, who I also can't recommend enough. Like his channel's great, and I really do recommend watching more of his stuff. But there's many theories on what it could be, because obviously it's a miniseries. Like it's gonna take away from a lot of the creepiness, right? But it's not real. None of it's real. Obviously, it's a YouTube miniseries. It's like an art project, but it's still super intriguing. And the stuff they sent, and like I told you guys, like the most intriguing and creepiest part of this web series is the contingency episode. That is like, it's the thing that makes it so creepy. Is that it's something that could have genuinely been shown back in the day, because it makes it look like it was set in like the 1960s or something around that era. And right, the contingency episode pretty much, I'll explain it for the viewers here. The contingency episode of Local 58 is an episode pretty much saying, first of all, it airs at 3 a.m. until super late, and the only people who knows who's awake during that time, at that point in time. But pretty much what the contingency episode is pretty much a notification show. It's kind of like an alert that plays on your TV sometimes. But I know some of this stuff really did exist. I don't know if it was any of this drastic, but stuff like this did exist. Pretty much the contingency episode explains that on your TV an alert happens, and what it's saying is, beating around the bush right now, that the U.S. has been defeated by an enemy country, and right, it's playing like U.S. music showing American flags and stuff like that, and it's saying that even in death we claim victory, and pretty much what the entire thing is telling you to do is to kill yourself and lay front faced on your lawn, so that this enemy country won't fully take over the U.S. And it's just super intriguing because like if you know what, like if you watch the video, you know that what Nexpo is theorizing is that the entire point of Local 58 is that they're trying to brainwash you to do many different things, and like pretty much what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you to not trust anyone. So they're using stuff like the moon and TV to brainwash you. And obviously what the contingency thing was trying to do was trying to kill as many people as it could to see who would actually believe it. And it's super intriguing stuff because especially back then TV was big and everyone watched the TV. And everyone saw this kind of stuff, and it was super easy, like people would watch and do whatever they're told. And that's what the contingency was all about. And it's still just still watching it. It's still super creepy and eerie just seeing that kind of stuff.
It's all very creepy, yeah.
Yeah, it's very intriguing. Creepy. I know the Nexpo went with a mind control theory and of people trying to control your mind.
I have a question.
Theory.
Well, Nexpo, is he treating it? He's treating it like as if it was all real, right?
The Nexpo's just explaining it. He clearly, like in the video, he says that like, oh, it was made by this guy as like a mini series kind of thing. He says it in the video, but he's still doing it.
I wasn't paying attention to that. Yeah. I didn't even hear that.
Well, yeah, he's talking about it like, he's just explaining it because that's what it is. It's supposed to be explained. It's a mini series of like weird things that are happening, and obviously you need to try and figure out what's happening, and that's what he's doing. So yeah, his theory is like a company mind control. There is another theory, which I know if you watch Film Theory, Matt, he did something on this in his Film Theory channel, and he went with the aliens explanation, which is also a popular explanation of Local 58, of pretty much aliens trying to invade and take over the world via the TV manipulation and the moon, which is also very intriguing. Which I think
it did have a lot of focus on the moon.
Yeah, there was a really important focus on the moon. The moon was an important part of it. And pretty much they was trying to get people to look at the moon, and people looking at the moon would, somehow entrance them and make them do whatever you want. It's super interesting stuff. But the alien theory is a very popular explanation, which there is merit to it. I can see, especially if you like in the later video of like someone going through the woods, like following like their destination
GPS
thing, and you can see like a weird thing in the woods right there, right, and like aliens and stuff like that. That's definitely what it looked like, but then like Nexpo explains it a different way of how like that thing wasn't actually there, and pretty much shows again how like technology is trying to get you to do, because like obviously the person was blindly following whatever his GPS was telling him to go, even though it clearly was taking him to a really wrong and bad area. Like it was straight up telling him to go off road and stuff like that, and he was still listening to it anyways.
Proceed to the highlighted route. Continue on Holbrook Park Drive, then in 500 feet turn right onto North 38th Street. You will arrive at your destination in 2 hours and 28 minutes. Turn right onto North 38th Street. In a quarter mile, turn left onto Merritt Parkway. You are on the fastest available route. Turn left onto Merritt Parkway, then take the on-ramp to Highway 114 North. Traffic ahead, rerouting. In 10 miles take exit 17, then turn right onto Quarry Utility Road South. You are on the fastest route. In 2.8 miles, keep right to stay on Service Causeway H516. You will arrive at your destination in 14 minutes. Rerouting. Make a U-turn. Head east for 1/4 of a mile, then follow signs for do not enter. Continue on unnamed road, then, in 300 feet, turn off your headlights. Rerouting. Make a U-turn. Your destination is behind you. Rerouting. In 500 feet. Your destination will be on in 300 feet. Your destination in 250 feet. Rerouting. Your destination will be in 50 feet. You will arrive at your destination. You have arrived.
Just kind of shows how dependent they are on technology. So like even though it was obviously telling you to go to a place that you should not go, they were still blindly following you to go because that's what the GPS told you to do. That's what technology is telling us to do. And pretty much with the GPS led him to his death. Again, another case of like technology trying to get you to kill yourself. It's also it's super interesting.
Those videos are really well
that's
made.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And there's more stuff like this too. Like you can find this all over. Like YouTube does have some really well made art projects and stuff like this. I mean, like Salad Fingers, and Don't Hungry I'm Scared are also like stuff like this. But I say the most intriguing out of like these YouTube series, I gotta say, is Local 58 in my opinion. I think it's like the most intriguing.
I never watched the explanation
video
video you sent, but I like watched the original video because I wanted to have like my own like view on it.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's fair.
Wait, okay, am I crazy? But like, was it
obviously
always looking?
Haven't thought much. Okay, it could come across a certain way, but I've always thought because like obviously like, the time period like is going for, I always thought it was like the Russians. Because like it was like all
that's an interesting theory too. Yeah, like a Cold War kind of thing.
Yeah, and also they were like
that GPS thing was 2014.
The moon race, and so they could be angry about that. They could have hacked like the TVs and stuff, and
yeah. And yeah, that's a pretty valid explanation too. If it's more delved into. Oh, I didn't think about anything like that, but yeah.
Yeah.
See,
okay,
like
here's the thing.
Like this is also meant to be interpreted different ways.
Yeah.
So who knows if any of us maybe we're all.
No, I have a lot I can go off.
Told.
Okay,
let's pass it then.
But I'm gonna stay, like, first off, when I was opening this video, this is by far the video that, like, freaked me out the most, too. Even, like, I knew it wasn't real, but I didn't know that it was a mini-series. Like, I thought it was, like, I don't know.
Like a bunch of, like, different things just put together.
That's what the thing was, is, like, I was up all night thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, no, that doesn't make any sense. And I, like, and I chalk it off, and I'm like, but wait, what about... was like the cartoon? It's like, what was the point of that? I'm like, nah, none of it makes sense. And then I'm like, wait, well, the GPS thing, what was that about? And it just kind of kept growing like that. It wouldn't get out of my mind because there was so much to think about. Obi-Wan just dashed off the cliff. But Chris, whenever you talked to me about conspiracy stuff and before, like I don't know if you've talked about this before, or the Local 58 before, but I guess what stuck with me was you're talking about a really interesting video that you're wanting to show us, or that you had sent us before that we didn't watch, which was about like all the times that the Earth, or like that the world was almost destroyed.
Yeah,
all the
by
times.
a channel. Yeah.
Yes,
Let me
I
know.
thought that's what that video was.
No, it wasn't that. No.
And like I just went into it, and like I was doing homework while I was watching it. So like I was like sort of not paying attention like at the very beginning. Like that's why I didn't know what it was either. Like I didn't know it was a mini series at the beginning because I guess I wasn't paying full attention there.
That makes sense.
But yeah. So I had no idea what I was watching. Like 10 minutes in, I'm like, what is this going into? And then it goes into the contingency. I'm like, what? And like, because that's what I thought. I thought it was like you were showing me like all of the times like the world was almost destroyed. I'm like, is this like an actual thing that happened that almost killed people? I don't understand, because I thought it was a video of all the times that the Earth was almost destroyed, or it wasn't fully aired, but the guy was saying it was aired. So like I was super confused. And then it goes into the cartoon, and then it goes into and I was like, is that just like propaganda? I have no idea.
The video Dark's talking about is it's another super interesting video, but it's like, I guess it can be kind of creepy. It's really just realizing how small we really are, and how fragile this world really is. There's the video that Dark's talking about. It's a video by Let Me Know. It's just the name of the channel. Which, by the way, I can't recommend. Their stuff is really good too. He does a lot of like how you say, I guess, a lot of documentaries on different topics and stuff like that. And that's what was one of them. The video was called Grazed by the Apocalypse, where he just talks about how many times the world was almost destroyed, and it's super interesting. And it really shows you a lot of the stuff happened during the Cold War too, and just shows you how much of a
that's exactly what I thought it was.
Yeah.
So I was so confused.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until.
As well, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think I realized until like after the cartoon that it was something completely different. But
I never saw the explanation video, so like for the longest time, like because I saw it like a couple of years ago, like I thought it was real. So I just saw it without any context. It's like, damn, listen,
It really well made videos too,
yeah.
Guy knows what he's doing.
I do have to say, the stuff that freaked me out the most about it though was definitely the moon, like all of it, like the there's just like
how
there's
the
just
moon was like a hitting, like it was a context for like everything,
Well,
the moon
it's
was
just
very
weird.
important.
It's just something so simple, like it has like that much.
Well, no, well, growing
it's a sinister concept.
Well, growing up,
you don't think.
Well, no.
I would think.
Okay, stop trying to finish my idea. Growing up, like a lot of like what I've learned, like in even terms of like religion and like what my family believes, is also based around the moon. Like for instance, like in the Bible, it's just like a bunch of creepy things that like it's always been kind of unsettling. But like how like moonlight is colder than the actual just darkness. Like I think it's a few degrees. Like if you're standing in the moonlight, it's colder than just being in the dark itself. Don't know how that happens, but I'm sure there's an explanation for it. But then also like even in the Bible, like if things are referring to like the devil, they're usually referred to by like the lunar calendar. Things like that. That's how you know who it's talking about. If it's talking about like that's a lot of times that's how you figure that out, is if it's refers to it that way. But like it super freaked me out like whenever it was showing the guy worshiping the moon, like as he's entranced by it or whatever, and then like it starts saying like his throne and things like that. Like that's how it all was perceived to me. Like it was like super creepy. Though like that way. Do you understand what I'm saying?
It was very creepy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was like,
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
That's something that would happen.
you're cutting out a little bit for me. What'd you say?
Yeah, yeah, I
Oh,
couldn't
I
hear
was
that
gonna sound like something that would happen in like Indiana Jones.
Worshipping the moon?
No, as in like the whole like video.
Actually, Russian
Oh.
Moon isn't even far off of Indiana Jones, but yeah, no.
Um, I guess I can kind of see what you mean. Um, yeah, the moon's just super creepy though, and like the way that
Yeah,
in
no, yeah.
in the cartoon though, the way like that was also like the probably the
Yeah,
second
yeah,
thing.
the
Like
cartoon
the
was very unnerving.
seeing like the moon's background changing too and things
Hmm.
like oh my god.
Make it snap.
Did you guys actually
Uh,
look at the center of the screen for that hypnosis sort of one?
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
just pretty-
Were you not trying to get hypnosed or whatever?
I wouldn't want to get hypnosis. I don't know.
Yeah, like you have to look at the center of the. Yeah, it's
I
a
was
real
I
thing that
think my
eating.
happens.
chances.
Yeah, if I was eating.
And the
too,
video
that'd be-
explains, yeah, how like
Fucking hell.
when you look at two different things, when you're looking at the center screen, look at two different faces, you kind of like merge them together, and that's kind of what that thing was trying to play off of, except like it was using really creepy looking faces.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah.
But it's a real phenomenon that happens when you look in between two objects. You kind of like merge them in your head.
Yeah, it did that experimental one. Did you watch that, Bryce? Did you look in the center of that one when it was showing like the regular people?
Oh yeah, no.
You didn't even do that?
I think I should mention this now. I didn't watch any of the videos. It's like I was trying to point it, but then you made me say it. God damn it, Dark.
You didn't watch any of the videos.
I watched the dog video and I watched the.
You watched the videos you sent.
See, I think it's fine. Like, you just Bryce, like he's just hearing what we're talking about, and I'm pretty sure Bryce is super interested in what we're talking about. So, it's an interesting take on things. Someone who hasn't watched this stuff.
Yeah, true. That was your plan all along.
That was my plan like an hour ago when Bazinga said I'm ready.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Well, that's actually kind of really disappointing because I was really wanting to know what you had to say about like the entire video because like there's a lot.
Damn. He's
Yeah.
not angry, he's just disappointed.
You want to start talking about your stuff, Bazinga?
What about the moon?
I'm
I
not
thought you were
gonna
talking
lie.
about the moon.
I haven't seen, cause the videos I sent, I didn't really watch those because I watched them like a year or two ago. So it's most of it escapes me. That's what I was kind of referring to, how some of it like kind of just escapes my head. So you'll kind of have to like refresh me and I'll be like, oh yeah.
All right then. All right. Well, we're talking about the moon. I was referring to Bazinga sent a video of he sent two videos, right? One about like a werewolf kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like a beast. Yeah.
And the other about a pretty much something being on the moon when like when obviously the U.S. went and landed on the moon. Yeah, well, with the famous Apollo landings and stuff like that, and pretty much what it was saying, I have heard of this before, of like supposedly them seeing something while on the moon, whether if it is aliens or like some kind of structures and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
it's something like I have heard of it before. Who knows how real it is? I again kind of doubt it's real, but then you never know.
Yeah.
The government is
Yeah,
how you think it is. They kind of try and hide everything. But either it's super interesting, and I kind of just because like when it comes to like paranormal stuff, the thing I find the most interesting is aliens. I don't know why, but like it's just just the idea of like something coming from a different world. It's always very intriguing to me. So you guys watch the videos, right? What do you guys think?
Well, that's basically all that it was it was describing, the Apollo missions and how they think they saw stuff, but they might not have, and like it's nothing with proof. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that makes you think, I'd imagine. But
I guess, but it was also like
not,
I don't know.
It was like
I don't-
really cryptic.
It's not hard to believe that there's something out there that we don't know about, whether it's on the moon or just in general.
Yeah, the other thing that I always thought about, like obviously I was just gonna ask, like, do you guys believe in aliens? But it's something that I thought like it's more like it's less likely that there are aliens than if there aren't aliens.
What?
Like the what I'm trying to say is that space is a big place.
Yeah.
It is more like aliens are more likely a possibility than they aren't.
Okay. Because you said
Yeah.
I might have heard that wrong, but I think you said
I
aliens
said it
aren't.
really weirdly.
I think the way that you said it was like
Yeah.
there isn't a chance for aliens as much as there isn't. I was like,
Yeah, I said it
what?
really weirdly.
You use science for that one.
Yeah.
I yeah, I guess I can kind of see what you mean.
It's just with how big the universe is. It goes back to when we were talking about the Earth is a really small place, and the universe is big. And with billions, if the world, if space is infinite, and chances are it is, chances are that there are other intelligent life forms out there. Because I know like the thing that made the Earth was like a lot of like different like it's chance by chance. The fact that Earth can like sustain human life or life in general. It's like how it's like in the perfect spot and everything. Where like it's not too close to the sun, but it's not too far from the sun, so we don't burn up or freeze and stuff like that. And like people were like, what are the chances that could happen again? That's an argument that's used a lot for saying aliens aren't real and that kind of stuff. But like again, the universe is a big place, and chances are stuff like that can happen again and again. There are billions to trillions of planets out there. And even if the chance that happened to us is 1 in a billion, well, there are billions and billions of planets out there, so it can happen again.
Yeah.
You just never know. The question is, if they visited us, that's a different story. Who knows? Obviously, a lot of people like to talk about aliens and people claim being abducted and stuff like that. Yeah, but who knows if it's real?
John F. Kennedy's assassination.
I feel like the question of if aliens are real or not, like a lot of it, like whenever I think of it, my mind like immediately goes to religion, and like I think that's what the answer is for a lot of people, is just depending on like what they believe that way. Like thinking in like higher terms of everything, you'd be like, what would be the point? You know what I mean? Like I know, like if you believe, like a god made you, and it's what was the point of our existence? Like that's a whole you know what I mean? But then aliens, it's like it's entirely you know what I'm trying to say, right? Like I'm having a lot of trouble words.
Perspective will be conflicted to some extent. Right?
Yeah, that's a way of looking at it. I never really thought about it that way, but that is a different point to take in. Yeah.
I am Christian. Mainly, what I just thought is that Earth is just a weird side project for God. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Well, I think if in throwing God out of the window, even if I didn't believe, I don't think. Well, I'm not gonna go to that. But like if aliens were to exist, I think it's more likely that they would be like microorganisms. Things
not
like
actual,
that.
Like
like full-on organisms.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Because stuff like that.
Considering like Earth's like the only habitable planet, granted it is a big place in space, but
I was saying like I guess space is a big place, and you don't know exactly what's in it. What can be contained.
Yeah.
And that's something that annoyed me about Bazinga's video, is that like the way that he was talking, he's like at the end of it, he's like, who's to say? And he's like, looking at all this, he could have been hallucinating. He could have been having optical illusions. He could have been doing this and this and this. And it's like I get it. I get what the point of him saying that is.
Psychedelics, but I mean he was on the trip to the moon, so I don't think it's very professional.
Just a funny way to put it all. That's probably all I have to say about that.
Yeah, to kind of tangent off of your tangent there. I'm obviously just to give some context, source material for this one. I'm not a religious man, so that kind of that you could probably understand why I think the things I do. But I think aliens could be real. and I definitely don't think they've been here, or like it's like how they, you know, how like people
But
think
the
like
pyramids.
we have them like at Area 51. I don't believe that at all, because
I
I
hope no
feel
one.
if
You're
there
not
was
American.
aliens,
How do you know?
they'd be a lot more superior to us, and we wouldn't be able to contain them.
Right. Okay. Sure.
I don't think that ability.
Yeah.
Everyone has
But,
off days. Maybe they just
Yeah.
got caught.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
they
very
can't always be
unlikely.
the best.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
as long
was
as
thinking the video like Chris's one, like I was saying, like like they're saying there's something on the moon, there could have been like a structure or something that made them like something makes them like look towards the moon, or like makes them like hallucinate, or like what's the word, like hypnotized.
Right. Yeah.
What?
Because like, you know
Wait,
how
what?
his video is like about how there's like people worshipping the moon and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like
Right.
the video I was on about, I said it kind of, even though it's not true, it kind of links to it, saying on the moon, and that could be the cause of the hypnosis, or like something to do with that.
Oh, because you're just trying to correlate two. What I'm hearing
Yeah.
is that you're trying to correlate two different theories, and I mean,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Um, Does I don't know if that's really like a strong like point of it. Reference is they're two different theories from two different people, correct?
I mean,
Saying that
the other one
But the other
is
one's not
a
true, but I was just saying
micro-series.
how
So many
if it
YouTubers.
was
It
the
could
case, it could, that's how it
match
could
up.
be true.
Okay, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, pretty like I don't know
No,
where to go
in
with
the
that.
case of being hypnotized by the moon, I think
Some
if
anyway,
even
but like if it was to
if
happen, yeah.
okay, sure. But like,
Hmm?
but like if you could get hypnotized by the moon, someone would know about it. At the point we're
Yeah.
at in civilization,
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah.
like even if it was one day every like 50 years, we would know.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I would hope we would know.
Probably a crazy theory out there how like a Neil Armstrong got like hypnotized and he came back as an
So that's how aliens work, huh?
yes.
All right. So going back to the whole alien topic, and it's a thing. As a kid, again, going back to believing everything, I always believed like all people been abducted and stuff like that. I always believe that. Obviously, like now, yeah, I'm pretty sure most of that's fake. Uh, but I still do firmly
Most.
believe in extraterrestrial life. And I
Yeah.
think that most top scientists also believe in extraterrestrial life. I know there is like the famous thing that what's his name said? I forget his name. But he said how that if aliens were to visit the Earth, it'd be the same as how Columbus was when he came to the Americas, and how he treated the
They'll get
Indians.
sick and they'll die.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
My
like
land, I discovered it.
yeah,
Just
kind of like
saying they
how
discovered
he
Earth.
completely disregarded and like treated Indians like very poorly. Little
That's
regard to
true.
them. Yeah, I forgot his name. Crap. The crippled guy,
Yeah,
the wheelchair.
all of them.
Charles Xavier.
Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking. Oh my God.
Oh,
I don't know
him.
how I
Yeah.
forget Stephen Hawking. Yeah, he said that. How like yeah, and it's a very interesting way of thinking about it, because if similar to how we see ants, we don't think much of ants.
Yeah.
They're just kind of doing their own thing, but still, I mean, most of it, I hate ants personally. But you just kind of step on them without even realizing it, and if like it's kind of like how we would be if super intelligent extraterrestrial life was real, how they would just either walk right over us or just ignore us because we're so insignificant to them.
Yeah.
So that's one way of thinking about it.
Yeah. I mean, I've always believed in it, but I've never believed they came here. Even though I
But
wanted
Yeah.
to. Like, I'd still watch the videos on it, but there's
Yeah,
obviously,
I used to I
the
used to watch the Ancient Aliens on the History Channel.
perfect
Oh,
match.
yeah.
That was some weird stuff.
It's weird because I always get like hyped if there's like a alien sighting or like UFO sighting. I was like,
Like,
yeah,
oh
that's
hell
cool.
yeah, dude! Aliens built the pyramids. It's crazy.
Aliens came
Oh.
in and helped us along in civilization, and then just
And then
left.
they left.
Yeah, they just left.
I know. Like the Alien versus Predator movie, like the first one, actually did talk about that stuff. Like pretty much Predators started all these civilizations, right? And then like once they pretty much use these civilizations as like nests for aliens. And pretty much the entire point is that the Predator would try to hunt all these aliens, and if the Predators would fail, they would destroy the entire civilization.
What?
And that's
Damn.
why a bunch of civilizations were wiped out.
Hmm.
In Alien vs Predator, it kind of just went on a
Human
little alien kind of thing.
civilizations?
Yeah, human civilizations. How like predators would come, and start all these civilizations, start all these human civilizations, and then like they'd pretty much infest them with the alien embryo, and pretty much the entire point is that the predator would have to fight all the aliens, and if they succeeded, the race could continue. But if they failed, the entire civilization was destroyed. Which is really messed up because like it's
That is,
pretty much
like, a
all up
lot
to the
of
predators. Like the
things.
alien, like the humans
Yeah.
have nothing to do with it. Like if the
Yeah.
predator starts it, and if the predator messes up, humans have to pay, and it's just like it's really
I
messed
just
up.
I
but
just got dropped a
that's
lot
the
of lore
premise
right
of,
now.
that's the premise of Alien vs Predator.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. I won't say anymore. That's off topic. All right.
They're good movies. You should watch them.
Yeah.
I have a lot
They're
of
not good movies, but they're a lot of fun.
They're not good movies. Well, we're still into the too little into the early into the podcast thing before you can start saying takes like that, Chris. Crap. Well, what, Bryce?
No, yeah, nothing. I had nothing else to add on that is relevant. Not me, sir.
It doesn't have to be relevant.
No, this is gonna be a lore dump, and then I'm gonna be here for 10 minutes talking about something that is not even related. It just got me thinking. Well, got me thinking about something.
That is the point of a
Well,
podcast.
yeah, feel free to go on a tangent, man.
If you didn't watch the videos,
So-
might as well.
I deserve that. So, hold on a second, I was so sure that you're just gonna say, "Oh, let's move on." All right. When you mentioned the pyramids and stuff like that, this is an Assassin's Creed lore topic. I'm gonna say that now, and I'll try to bring this over quickly. And
Are there aliens in Assassin's Creed?
no, so there's an advanced civilization known
Of
as the
predators in
Isu.
Assassin's Creed.
No,
That's
no.
crazy.
So, well, the advanced civilization called the Isu, or the
Also,
there weren't
predators.
there weren't gods, there weren't aliens. They were just an advanced species
Predators.
of people that made
happen to be
humans.
predators. Okay. Right.
That
Okay.
made this advanced species, like they made humans. They implemented like a device into their brain to control them, manipulate them. That's why there's like like the I don't know if you guys know these things because I know some of you guys play Assassin's Creed, truly.
Right.
Like that's how they were able to manipulate humans. That's why there's like all these artifacts that allows for people to control them and so on and so forth. And they would have in Assassin's Creed Origins you can go to multiple pyramids of Giza, and there's actually like tombs and stuff from them that you would be considered quote unquote alien technology, like
Predator technology.
from probably it's an advanced technology. They could be a whole collab that we don't even know about. Like
Whoa.
lore goes deep. Yeah, no, that just got me thinking about that. Just like kind of how like those ideas kind of like technology.
So they're basically Kaminoans.
What?
They're basically
yeah, so-
Kaminoans.
That another lore I need to be aware of, or so.
Oh
Look
my
out
God,
for?
Bryce.
Um,
Oh
Yeah,
God.
that's a Star Wars thing,
that's
sure.
Camino. Kaminoans.
Oh, I really just saw them as, you know,
yeah.
oh yeah, because
How...
they put the inhibitor chips into the
Yeah,
in the clones.
that's
Yeah,
kind of
They
why I
do a
said
lot
that.
of genetic engineering.
yeah,
That's their whole thing.
Genetic engineering
Yeah,
is
that's the whole
Yeah.
a
thing.
great
yeah. That's why
topic
they
for
all
horror,
look the
by the
same.
way. That's terrifying.
Huh. Yeah, that is a scary thing to think about. So what I took away from Bryce's tangent is that there are predators in Assassin's Creed.
You can
And I
call
think
them
that's pretty
predators.
interesting. Eh?
You know what I
They're-
took
they're-
away
they're-
from
they're no longer-
Bryce's thing? I
they're
was
no
thinking.
longer
Go on about your what you're.
but they don't exist as much. They send messages. Like the things that you see from them are like messages they predict through their technology because they have a sixth sense that allows for them to peer through different realities in time. They make a guess. That's why they have the teams for the messages for their character to find out. Alright, I'm done now. Sorry.
Did you guys see the Futurama episode where there's a ancient or there's an alien race that was watching our TV broadcast stations from like hundreds thousands of years ago because it's just now reaching them from light years, and the show was canceled, so they got so mad that they invaded
Oh yeah.
because the show 1,000 years ago was
Yeah, I
canceled.
forget what that race is called, but I know the planet they live on is Omicron Persei 8. I know that.
That's
There's
really
none
funny.
Simpsons as well.
I
I don't know about Simpsons.
think so. I don't know. That's fine.
Speaking of, did you guys see the crossover between Futurama and The Simpsons?
I did not. I'm still on season. I think I'm on season 3 of Futurama now. So I started recently watching Futurama.
You know, at the time, like Futurama was like canceled, so like it's just kind of the thing that happened. Pretty interesting. Wasn't that bad. A lot of the newer Simpsons stuff isn't good. All right, I'm going on a tangent. It's not going to lead us anywhere. All right, so
where are we at
should
now?
we talk about the next video?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so what other videos do we have to talk about?
Well,
I said all mine. I only spoke
I
like
think
2.
has his werewolf video.
Yeah,
Oh
I can't remember most
the Beast of
well, it'll come to me.
Javudan, or something like that.
I remember that I watched that
Sounds
like more than once. Something like that. Like obviously that was like over a year ago. So
Yeah, it's pretty much about a werewolf that was terrorizing, or like a beast. A beast. People call it a large wolf or whatever, but pretty much a werewolf terrorizing this one village called whatever how you pronounce that, and pretty much like over like 30 people. I don't know. The video's making it out to seem that like it was real, so I don't know if it's a real event that happened, but it's like obviously took place back in like medieval times or whatever. So I didn't fact check it or anything like that, but apparently like over 30 people died and like over like. Or it's like over like 90 people died and like 30 people were injured and stuff like that due to this thing, this beast.
yeah.
And who knows if it's real, but pretty much
I mean, if someone
it's a
can
werewolf.
disprove it, then I guess it's real.
A wolf, you said? Where? And then like
a werewolf. Like people are
Yeah,
saying it's a large wolf. People are saying
like...
it's a large wolf, or like a lot of other people are saying a werewolf. I don't know. The person who finally killed it supposedly was like, yeah, this is a werewolf. So he used like a silver-laced bullet to try and kill it, and it did die. But apparently, like people would try and shoot at this thing, but like the bullets will straight up bounce off and stuff like that. So
Dang.
that's pretty interesting.
And where was this?
It was in France somewhere in a city.
That's where most of that stuff happens. That's where most of those types of stories come from, though, like vampires.
Yeah, like over there, yeah.
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 Sorry.
So it's pretty much there are theories saying that it could have been like just like a like a hunting dog gone wild that was given like, because apparently back in the day it was common to give hunting dogs like a armor to protect them from wolves, and apparently it would protect them from bullets as well. And a lot of people were saying that it could have been just a really large hunting dog that's gone mad for some reason, which
Rabies.
maybe that's the case. Who knows?
Yeah.
But then like apparently this thing was like massive and like
Did it kill people?
it apparently knew how to evade capture. And because like people would set up traps for this thing, but apparently this thing was smart enough to avoid every single one. And like pretty much for a while they were trying to hunt this thing down, like really like because apparently like it would target like people who were alone or like women and children who were obviously couldn't really defend themselves. So like literally people would be dressed as women and stuff like that just to try and get it to attack them, so they could try and finally kill it. But even like it even knew that these people like weren't actually women, so it wouldn't attack them. So like it was a really smart thing. So like it's really smart. If it is a dog, it's a really smart dog.
Yeah.
It'd make more sense if it is a dog, because like they have like crazy like
instincts and like senses.
Like smelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they can smell like 100 times more than we can or something. I don't know how accurate
it has
it is
heightened
for like
senses.
something like that.
It has heightened senses.
Yeah, there are theories saying that it could have been an actual an actual person, like a Native American who had went to obviously now I think about it, it doesn't take place in medieval times because the story involved guns and Native Americans. So pretty much like a Native American that went to France and just started killing people, and pretty much like he had like a bunch of like theory has it that he had like fur and stuff on him from animals he'd killed, so people could have mistaken him for an animal when he was actually just a person. And obviously a person would be smart enough to evade all the kind of traps they put out, so there's that explanation. But story has it that they did encounter it, like they finally killed a giant beast, but who knows if that's real, like hunter or like actually like prisoner.
If there's only like a couple of encounters, then it could have been an Indian, but I mean after a few, I'm pretty sure you'd be able to.
Yeah, like apparently
these things
killed a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting, because you don't know what it is.
It's just about
It could be anything.
Okay.
It's werewolves. So do you guys think werewolves are real?
No.
I don't think they're real.
Yeah.
Like not to the extent like there's like wolves. Like
I think they could be like they could have been like extra like or like more
big
like
ones,
powerful wolves, so like like big wolves, but not actual werewolves.
Like that reminds me of the story of the Black Shuck from I think it's a English tale. I'm not sure. I based that off like a little information I looked up, and in regards to research I did a while back. Like basically where it was like in East Anglia, England, and there was just reports of this big black wolf sort of thing that would just control like the area. It was like around since 1500s, and like it had like multiple like tales, like renditions of the story for like centuries from what I've remembered. I could be wrong. I'm maybe thinking this. No, that's just like big wolves. Like that is not out of the picture. Like it has to. It all start somewhere, surely. I don't know. I just try to have my input.
We all have to start somewhere. Okay.
It's a werewolf entrepreneur.
I don't remember where I heard this, but it is a good point. Someone was talking about like if the existence of werewolves were real, like by the time that they would go through a full transformation, the transformation process would be so painful that like they wouldn't be able to move afterwards.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? It's like imagine your entire body transforming.
Yeah, I don't like
in
Like, it's actually
Yeah.
breaking and expanding
yeah.
bones.
Yeah, I know. I don't need any more like.
You're not just gonna howl
over details.
afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds painful.
It'll be literally
But dude, I mean,
crying.
if you are
Pain.
transforming into an animal, I mean, they probably have more pain tolerance than we do.
Not that much. Not
No?
that.
Like, yeah, I mean,
Uh,
Maybe
you
the
still have,
physiology
like,
of
human in you.
werewolves is
Okay.
different than humans.
I
It's
imagine
like
so.
Wolverine. You know, like how Wolverine like retracts his like claws every single time, and he says that it hurts every time. But I'm pretty sure to a point you'll probably get used to it.
I think that's
Yeah,
different.
like adapt.
That's a-
yeah, like
that's
you
a
Yeah,
said.
but
lot.
the point is like you
It's
adapt
That's
to
kind of
things.
how like
too
the body
different.
Like if something happens
Yeah.
constantly, you'll adapt to it eventually.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Like, the only difference there is, like, his is, like, metal.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
It's like
I think that would hurt.
I mean, that makes enough.
He probably weighs a lot, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like within his fucking. Yeah.
He's short though.
Ouch.
Damn.
But he's
I
like
haven't-
he's like 4 something, isn't he?
Z?
Like in the comics? Yeah, like Wolverine's tiny.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that makes sense.
Nice.
Short king.
Wolverine.
He's not short in the movies, but like
Yeah,
I know in the
that's 'cause
comics he's
actor.
tiny. Yeah.
Can't yeah, too perfectly, yes.
gotta satisfy the short. Alright, what's up? So,
Alright. I
how are we
guess
in this?
we just have one video left, and it's kind of really frustrating because
I haven't watched it.
you didn't watch it. Yeah, but it is a 4chan horror story about
A 4chan?
yes from 4chan.
Okay.
You not know what 4chan is?
Yeah, because I haven't watched the video.
No. All right. No. 4chan is a website. It's
okay.
with questionable I don't. How do I describe 4chan?
Dude, don't you talk bad about 4chan, man.
Has questionable. Like,
Nah, I'm not
is it
saying I
code?
use it. I'm just saying, dude, the people in 4chan are like, not talking
No,
about anyone in 4chan, obviously, but like, dude, they're behind a lot of stuff. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, 4chan is it's a crazy website, and this is where the story is from. The story was posted on 4chan. It's not really easy to describe, but it's the story of the Ghost Puncher. And
Ghost Puncher.
yes, yes,
Isn't that
Okay.
you showed me?
yes,
Like the different one.
yes. It
Yeah.
is. This is that one.
Ghost
Yeah,
Puncher.
that was pretty good.
Yes,
The Legend of the Ghost Puncher.
yes. It's
Yeah. Is that the
it's
one
a-
with like the Yoda tank top?
yes. This
Oh.
Chad.
Wait.
This
Oh.
Chad.
Wait,
He,
that was actually. Oh, I was so confused at that. I was like, oh, I wonder where he got that from. Like when he sent that in the chat, it's like, oh, that's really weird. What the hell? It's an interesting one. That's like, he sent that to the chat. Like he said pain under it. It's like, that's pretty funny, I guess. Sure.
Oh no, that was
The image.
No.
Oh, that's not from it?
that was Yoda with a fringe and a like.
No,
Okay,
that's
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 So, was that from the video or not? Is what I'm trying to get at.
that's
Or-
not from the video. No.
Related.
Okay, perfect. So that makes things a lot less
Oh
questionable.
my god.
See, I have
Um,
to talk, but then when I do talk, it says something stupid. So,
Out of all
should
out
do
of
that
all
on the
of these
video.
videos, out of all of these videos, before we go into depth about it, watch the Ghost Puncher video and then come back. Okay? Because it's
Wait, you want me to just leave the call or something?
no, not you. I'm talking to the audience. because there's
You.
there's almost
You. Yes,
They
you.
yes.
Better watch that video.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
They just dropped their glass. And...
Hyperlink is on the screen right now.
Crazy.
Anyways.
Except for the people on console.
Yes, except for
Screw
the
you
people
guys.
on console. That,
Damn,
yeah.
Had
man,
this-
really cut
yeah,
from
yeah.
there.
can't.
Yeah.
Uh,
YouTube on consoles. Every time I hear people say something like that, I'm like, well, can't do anything about it.
um, anyways, what the video is, I thought it would be a good video to end this off of because it's very special.
I would think so.
Maybe I should find the post and I should just read the post.
Alright.
No,
If you can.
It's a pretty long post.
it is a pretty long. It's
pretty
like a
long,
10-minute long story.
Yeah.
Man.
Basically what happens is this guy is he's a full-on Chad, right? He's works out, bodybuilder, and the
Oh, wow.
narrator is his
That
friend.
one's on an extreme high.
Yes. And what happens is they're talking, they're spotting each other and stuff, and like some creepy stuff happens around the house, and this guy's referred to as Lifting Buddy, by the way, throughout the entire story. So Lifting Buddy talks about how he accidentally smashed a hole in his wall, and what was it? Found like a crucifix and like
It was a
ancient.
skull. He found a skull.
Oh, he found a skull. He found a skull, and so like some weird stuff started happening since then. He's like, he doesn't know ghosts. He doesn't believe ghosts are real, but like he's saying like how he's mildly concerned, and like he's going around his house, and apparently like starts being like high pitched shrieking, and like starts seeing shadowy figures like running around and like crawling in between cabinets and stuff at his house.
Oh,
And,
hell no. I'll get the fuck out of their house.
Yeah, no, he handles it like a Chad. So
Oh yeah, Chad. The
what he does is he
Chad.
yes, what he does is he starts saying like piss off ghosts and starts like trying to fight them basically.
It's like the funniest moment is like he pours holy water on himself and starts like punching the air.
The ghost puncher. Oh my god.
and there's he finds a Ouija board and he uses it as a cutting board, like wipes his ass with it and burns it. Throws it out. It's like what else does he do?
This is incredible story writing.
Yeah.
Like, this is
He
genius.
gets
Right.
it's a very well told story. Like I wish he would have. I can't explain it. Like I can't do do it justice by just explaining.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and I can't remember all of the specific things either, but it's pretty impressive. Oh my god.
The fact of it alone kind of makes me want to watch it just later on after we finish this. It's like, huh.
Yeah.
Like the kind of idea. I can just picture that now. A guy. Where would he get the holy water? He would have to ask. He would have to ask the church, his local church, saying, "Hey, I need to punch some ghosts," and like take it with him, go to his house, pour just that just gets me thinking. So.
What else happened? What else happened? I can't.
Not
Can
to
you guys
forget
think
the
of
Yoda
any?
tank top involved in
I'll
this.
I'll get into that. But
brought
can
to
you guys
the-
think of
yeah.
any more examples of like what he did to piss off the ghosts?
I know he smashes the skull. He smashes the skull, and I know he gets like a crucifix. He starts like bad mouthing Satan.
Yeah. It's such a good video.
What does he say?
All right. Hold on. I'm gonna find the actual post. Hold on. Let me do
I
this
need
right
like
now.
some examples. Like this is too good. What does he say? How does he counteract the most
Hold on.
biggest
Should I
sinner of them all?
actually play the video, like just the audio? It's 10 minutes long. Should I do that?
I don't know. Will that come out well from your? Well, actually, granted, you're using your microphone. It should sound good. I mean, just tell me what it is. All I need to know.
When they just like get the
Oh, no, I
copyright strike.
That is also true. Like YouTube kind of bougie with that.
No.
I think you just tell me tell me like do you not know what he says? I mean, like, if you want to do it, you can do it. Sure, but like, I don't think it's really necessary for the situation. Tired, tired. Spreading yawns.
All right. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read like 2 pages from it to explain it.
All right, thank you.
Friend not in. Yeah, yes. Friend not in story tells us about place to get palm readings. Lifting buddy and I go to get palms read. Shows up to this shady ass place at 10 in the morning wearing our workout gear. Ghost bitch is already mirroring. Mirroring? I don't know what that word is. Stereotypical, scraggly gypsy woman shakes our hands and seats us at the table with a crystal ball. Ask who wants to go first. Hispanic heritage kicks in and I nope at the last minute. Friend Chad chads up to the plate. Woman grabs hand. He flexes slightly. Woman goes from woman goes from smiling to horrified. Starts grabbing and studying his hand like a last will. Feeling weird, man. Tells my friend he's got something following him. Asks if he did any of that Ouija voodoo bullshit. Says he smashed a hole in the wall and was a little drunk, lifting at home. Says that there was some type of decorative skull behind it and he now uses it as a decoration in his bedroom. Gypsy lets us leave without paying. At gym 30 minutes later, spotting friend while he benches. Some newbie dumbass is curling next to us, like no joke, 6 inches away from us. Dude slips up and swings a 20 he's holding at friend's head, throws the bar up and ducks just in time. Almost impale myself trying to catch the bar. Newbie apologizes while friend gets back up and I'm shitting myself still. Tell friend he should go home. Friend looks unfazed and wants to continue. Leave to Abuela? I don't know. Sister's house to get.
Oh, that's one thing that really pissed me off about the video is he kept saying Abdullah, and it really pissed me off.
It's Abuela.
It's so obviously Abuela.
Okay.
It's just grandma in Spanish.
Yeah.
Leave to Abuela's sister's house to get some sage and silver. Go back to gym and give it to friend next day. Friend looks happier than normal. Tells me some shit went down at his house. Says power was dead and even though his bills were paid, rest of the neighborhood had power. Heard rattling silverware. Uses a flashlight app to see. Saw a silhouette of someone crawling under the kitchen counter. Nothing under the counter, not even shelves. Friend doesn't believe in Ouija shit, but believes it's an intruder or animal. Friend grabs his pull-up bar and gets ready for sweet fit justice.
Curse words is so well done. I just want
Yells
to say
obscenities while patrolling his house. Says he sees what looked like a small humanoid crouched in his weight room. Gives 0 fucks and tosses pull-up bar out the window. Shatters like a lanklet kneecap squatting. Thing nowhere in sight. Friend starts to consider Ouija shit. Calls other friend for advice. Our lifting group has some odd characters. Johnny answers and tells him to burn the sage and carry the silver. Says he'll be by with some holy water. Drops it off. I'll call my grandma tomorrow to help. She's one of the medium people. Friend sits down on the couch while the house smells odd. Watches American Dad. Looks at Sage. Dried up and out. Goes into his pocket for the silver. Fucking melted. Instead of warm, it was cold. Starts to see something dart back and forth across the room. TV goes off and static comes on. Says high-pitched screaming fills the house. Friend gets mildly annoyed. Walks over to the weight room and smashes the skull against the wall in a fluid motion.
Wait, oh, okay.
Imagine walking into a room, tipping over a vase, then going back to what you were doing. He did that, except he threw a skull against the wall. Says house sook. Screaming got higher, then stopped. Lights go off again. Hears numerous footsteps getting closer to him. Tells me he's mildly freaked out at this point. I'm very concerned that he said mildly. Says he doused himself in holy water and started swinging hard as he could into the darkness. Only hears the wind breaking on his fists. He says he heard footsteps behind him getting further away. Screams, "Nuh-uh!" Starts running around his house, swinging in the darkness. Fucks up the living room in the process. Tells me he swears he made Tells me he swears he made contact with something fleshy a few times. Doesn't remember falling asleep. Wakes up and goes to the gym to tell me this the next day. Oh my god. Okay, just one more. Friend goes outside to make frequent calls throughout his routines. Ask him if he's trying to get in touch with the priest. Tells me he's been calling his home phone and leaving angry voice messages for the ghost. Says he would buy a snake flatten it with a rolling pin until it dies. Friend goes home again. Fast forward a few days. Looks completely normal. Asks lifting buddy asks if lifting buddy was all right. Tells me it's disturbing how well he's handling the situation. Says he went into lifting buddy's house to check up on the sitch. Feels a presence, but feels scared. Lifting buddy walks out of his bathroom naked, wiping his ass with a Ouija board towel. Throws it on the floor and kicks it in the living room. Pours some holy water on it, then takes it outside to burn it. Asks friends if he's hungry. Sure. Says he pulls out an open Ouija board he bought at Spencer's and uses it as a fucking cutting board. Says he repeatedly fucking stabbed the cutting knife into the board while not using it. Breaks board in half after he's done and chops up tomatoes and throws it in the trash. Washes his hand and pisses in the trash can. Even I think this is disrespecting the spirits too much. They both eat grilled chicken salad, then Johnny leaves. Says I'm on the way out. Lifting buddy goes into the lifting room and puts another crucifix on the wall. I'm putting Jesus on this wall, and I'll be back to fucking masturbate on my bench press while thinking about Lucifer's whore daughter. Punches a hole into the wall before leaving. Johnny calls his abuela. Oh wait, no, abuela. I don't fucking know. That night. Abuela. Anyways, Abuela goes to lifting buddy's house with the priest the next day. Says that her abuela and priest was also amazed and disturbed how lifting buddy was fighting the situation. Priest actually cowered and mired lifting buddy piss naked in the Wait, what? Priest actually cowered and mired lifting buddy pissing naked on the satanic Bible he bought at some shady bookstore. Tells priest he walks around naked a lot lately and talks shit about Satan. Okay, I think that's enough.
Alright, yeah, was that 2 pages?
That was 3.
Okay, you were that into it, nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The video's
I'm only 4 minutes into it, by the way. 4 minutes out of 10. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, shit.
Thoughts?
I was literally just listening to you the entire time. I wasn't even playing the game, and I think I actually just actually they kicked me out.
It kicked me out too.
Oh, and Doc is gone as well. Damn.
Yeah.
Just me and Chris.
What do you think of the video, Chris?
Man, dude, that was good stuff, man. That was funny.
Yeah. No.
Like half the time, that was great.
Like that. The name alone, Ghost Puncher, just leaves so many, just adds so much comedic things to it, and it's just like, and then like, can't get over the idea of them using holy water. Yeah, that's funny. That's good stuff. Yeah, no, we need more of that stuff. I like it.
Yeah.
Funny.
That's all the videos. Oh.
We can talk about other things as well. I mean,
we can talk about other things.
How long are we into it? It's been
an hour and 40 minutes.
So anyone else watch any horror movies lately?
Not lately.
I was actually gonna watch Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't know if that's
That is not a horror movie.
Yeah, that's like what I was told to watch.
Tucker and Dale versus the Forces of Evil count?
I have no idea.
Tucker, isn't that the? Wait, is that who I think it is? Tucker and Dale?
I don't know. Who do you think it is?
I'm not gonna say it, and it sounds stupid. I sound funny at that today. I know someone out there had a good laugh out of it.
You know, going back to the Night Before Christmas, I really don't like that animation.
Well, dang.
Like,
What do you
I
mean?
don't like it at
Jesus.
all. Like, Coraline and that kind of stuff. Like, I just don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like Coraline. Yeah, I can second that. So only because I used to really
Like
scare
stop
me.
motion?
Yeah, Coraline also scared me a lot when I was. Yeah, well, it's just that particular kind of stop motion. Like how that's like the Tim Burton stuff, you know. I know Tim Burton didn't make Coraline and Nightmare Before Christmas, but he was involved with both of them.
Do you ever see 9?
Oh, no,
It
that's
doesn't.
something else. Yeah, it's presented as a kids' film, but it's like an adult film. And it's like really deep for some reason.
Yeah, it doesn't sound familiar at
Isn't
all.
that? I think it's by Tim Burton.
That
though.
used to creep me out as well.
That
yeah.
is by Tim Burton.
Tim Burton makes a lot of weird. He did the original Batman movies.
Yeah.
He's making a new Addams Family series as well.
Mm.
I got announced the other day.
I watched Addams Family yesterday, actually.
I think
Does that count as a horror
he would
movie?
do really well with that. Yeah.
You don't know who Tucker
That's
and
kinda
Dale
Wasn't there an
versus
Adams
Sisters
Family
anymore,
animated
dude.
movie that was pretty,
I heard it was awful, but I don't know.
yeah.
Was
I
it
never
were they
watched
who
it,
you think
so.
they were, Bryce?
I'm not gonna, yeah, no, I thought they were cartoon characters, but I've confirmed otherwise, so it's fine.
It wasn't it originally a cartoon?
Tucker and Dale
I
versus
know.
Sisters.
I always
Oh
just
no,
always
I thought you were
the
still talking
live
about Addams
action
Family.
film.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna say whoever
I've
did
never
that.
seen Adam's Family. I don't think.
Damn.
I don't,
What is Adam's Family?
it's like a family
Wow.
named the Adams. That's all I really got. I don't
Oh
understand.
yeah, you don't know anything about the Addams Family?
I guess there must have been like a show that was like really popular, and
It's
I
like just
guess.
a very bizarre family that
Yeah. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I haven't seen
are
it
into
in a
some
while,
really weird
but
stuff.
that's some good
The movie
stuff.
was pretty good. You're watching it yesterday. It's a really good Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Is there like a vampire?
I
There's
don't know
a
what
vamp-
they are. They're just a really weird family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was planning on watching Signs. I was gonna watch Signs tomorrow. Actually, you guys heard of Signs?
No.
Because I haven't
No.
watched it in a while. It's like that alien horror movie, Signs. You watched Scary Movie 3? Because that's what the majority of it was based on.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Wait, really?
The majority of Scary
Yeah.
Movie 3 was based on Signs.
Is the Chronicles of Riddick horror? I don't remember.
If what?
I remember Scary
Chronicles
Movie
of
3.
Riddick?
I have no idea. I don't know anything that you're talking about right
I
now.
think our hard demographics are really different from one another.
Don't know what
That's
Chronicles of
how this
Riddick are?
conversation is going.
Okay,
No.
what about Tremors?
Oh, I love Tremors.
Yeah.
I love Tremors. I watched them all. That's not a horror movie. Those aren't horror movies. At best, I'd list them as thrillers, but
Thriller.
they're not horror. Kind of like Aliens. The first Alien was a horror movie, but Aliens was not a horror movie. Or like the Predator movies, those are also thrillers, I'd say. Gotta say, I have the first Predator. Man, that's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I watched Prisoners, which is kind of like it leans more to thriller than like a horror, but yeah, that's really good as well.
Since we're talking about thrillers, I guess I'll recommend A Quiet Place. I really enjoyed that in a theater.
Oh yeah, I watched that too. It really sucked. I really wanted to watch that in theaters.
It's
apparently,
a really good theater
yeah.
experience.
Apparently, it's quite the experience in theaters. It really sucks that I didn't get to watch it.
Yeah, and then also fortunate that the second one was canceled as well through this.
Oh, was the second one
event.
canceled?
Well, not canceled,
Damn.
but like, postponed. Like it was ready for
right,
release March, but like he said,
Yeah,
no, we gotta
right,
wait
yeah.
until everyone else is. Yeah.
You know, when it comes
Yeah,
to horror
yeah.
movies, yeah. The Quiet Place is very interesting. It's like, you guys ever watch Bird Box? Remember when that was popular? Bird Box.
Yeah.
I never
Bird,
watched that.
Bird Box, like, it was obviously you're supposed to be taken seriously, but it obviously drew such inspiration from Quiet Place. It
Yeah.
almost seemed kind of like a spoof of A Quiet Place.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's just
Yeah, that's.
I like
it didn't really
spoofs.
interest me. It didn't really
Oh,
interest
spoof
me,
movies are great.
especially-
Like, I love like the scary movies are
Yeah, but
great.
it took itself seriously, but it wasn't. But
Yeah, yeah.
didn't consider
It wasn't.
Oh.
It wasn't a spoof movie, but like,
There was-
Yeah, they didn't consider
it felt like
might as well
one.
be.
What was
Might as
there's
well.
one
You know, like,
haunted house movie. Haunted house.
Was it
I don't-
live action?
Yes.
Oh, with the animated
yeah, I
film.
remember those.
I was
Yeah.
thinking of the animated film.
I was thinking of the
wasn't
animated
with
film too.
film,
But yeah, I remember the haunted.
I think it was literally
Haunted House
called A Haunted House. Have you guys seen that?
or something like that. Yeah, it's.
I think
you
my
know,
brother
It
and
seemed
older
like it
sister
trying
saw
to like
that once.
emulate what the scary movies were. So like that's why I probably never into it because I love the scary movies so much. Well, at least 1, 2, and 3 were like those were really good. But like
Yeah.
Haunted House just always seemed like just like a cheap ripoff.
I thought it was pretty funny.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just it just didn't intrigue me in that case. But like,
it kind of seemed
spoof
like a
movies are
movie.
great. Yeah.
It kind of
Like,
seemed
you ever
like a
seen
movie
another
that
teen movie? That's another great spoof movie.
it,
Chris Evans playing like the stereotypical jock is great.
I actually watched I forget the name of it, but I kind of accidentally watched the spoof the other day because my like mum was
it's
watching
a
it,
film series. I
and
thought it was a
then it had like Paul Rudd in, and the guy from New Girl, like Schmidt from New Girl, I forget his name, but that was actually like unironically pretty funny. It's like they're like doing like obviously because it's a spoof, they're doing like really obvious things. So like like it'd be raining and then like he'd like go back and like run like back and like try to tell her something. Then like cause like the shop was open, she was like trying on like these really stupid costumes. Then he left and like she came out and he wasn't there and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Never
Yeah,
heard of
well,
that.
I mean, I didn't say the name to be fair, but
Yeah, alright, yeah, but like I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, that's about
Speaking
the
of
name.
spoof,
But...
So like, you know what's another spoof movie? Spaceballs. That's another spoof movie.
Oh yeah. That's great.
That's
I used to
fully on
watch it all the
YouTube
time.
too.
Yeah, it's
So
not
like,
really
you
very
can really
like,
watch it whenever
quality,
you want.
but
This is
yeah,
something
it's still really good.
completely random that I guess is the perfect use for a podcast though. One of my favorite spoofs is of what's his name? He's from Fantasia. Chernobog. No, maybe it's Chernobog. It's a take on Chernobog, which is like also like a version of like Satan, basically. And he's this giant figure, like on top of a mountain that kind of resembles Murray from Dio. You know what I'm talking about? No, anyone know what I'm talking about? No. Okay.
Well,
Nope.
I know Murray. But...
I haven't watched it, I don't know.
It kind of looks like that. But one of my favorite spoofs from my favorite Scooby-Doo movie is they did a complete spoof of him, and he's called the Yowie Yahoo, and he like abducts people. It's like my favorite Scooby-Doo movie. It's a spoof of Disney's Fantasia, and like what he does is he it's literally like a rock band concert, like it's gathering rock bands from all around the world, and it's like he has like 3 vampire henchmen that he sends out, and he's like this giant. He ends up being like a projection, but he's like this giant thing that covers like the entire, basically like hemisphere, and he just abducts people, and it's like the cool. I thought it was like the coolest thing ever as a kid.
Rock our world, man! Oh, okay.
Mid marvelous. Well, I can barely hear him.
Just wait. See? This guy rocks!
Well, if you say so.
If he didn't rock, he wouldn't be a finalist in the contest!
You, Daniel!
What the... What's going on?
Incredible!
Let me go!
Sounds like it.
Felt like it was accurate. I felt like if I'm gonna rant about it, this is the place. But I like that.
Man.
Yeah, no, I did. It's that. I'll have pictures on the screen.
Yeah, nothing to rant about.
I just like the design of it.
Right.
No.
You guys ever watch the Conjuring movies?
Heard of that.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I
the
have.
Conjureverse.
It's been a minute.
Conjuring 1 and 2, the Llorona, the Annabelle
I
movies.
think I saw 2. I think I saw
The
The
Nun.
Conjuring 2.
Conjuring 2 is my favorite in the Conjureverse. It's funny how a horror movie has its own little universe like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't
but
like The Shining have its like own universe as well though?
oh, if you like count like all of Stephen King's stuff being connected, which I know they are
yeah,
in the
that's
books,
true,
then I
yeah,
guess you could
yeah.
say that. But I don't think all the movies are connected.
Yeah.
Like I don't see how the It movies are connected to like The Shining or whatever
No,
the new
like
movie's called.
the new film like Doctor Sleep, isn't that like
It's a
like,
part of
directly
the
connected
Shining.
to-
Yeah,
Is
it's
it the one with
Shining.
Ewan McGregor?
Yes. The difference with the Conjureverse though is that it's literally the Conjuring 1 and 2, all the Annabelle movies, the Nun, and the Llorona, all of them. Oh, I guess it's La Llorona. All of them are connected, and all of them are a part of the same universe.
Huh.
Yeah, pretty
a
much
pretty
like
fucked up
different
universe.
demons, and yeah, like yeah, it's just they all get brought together in like the Conjuring movies.
Get off my back.
Fine. Did it.
Thank
Oh, I
you.
just got wiped. Oof.
Yeah, that Chewbacca's a dangerous one. You guys don't have favorite horror games though?
That I've played? That I've played personally. I would say what I've played personally.
Or even like Let's Plays, I guess.
Oh, Let's Plays? Freaking Outlast 1. Fucking
Outlast?
Yeah,
I want to
dude,
do a
Outlast
Let's
is
Play
really
of
good.
Outlast actually.
Yeah, it's one of
That
the few horror
game-
games I've played. I haven't
game
played it to
like
completion, but man, I gotta say that's a
Game-
scary game.
That game gave me nightmares. Like, I watched
Yeah.
that when I was 13, 14.
Ooh, man, it's like how I
Yeah.
played it too. Is like I went full on. I got some like a good set of headphones. It was completely dark. I was alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Oh, Jesus.
I
you
turned off the
asking for
TV
it
audio
there.
and just used my mic and just played the game, and I was terrified the entire time.
Yeah.
The atmosphere was so scary, and
Yeah.
like I was scared to move forward. I was like inching forward throughout the asylum and
no.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, like,
it-
the reason
it's
why
really
I
good,
probably
yeah.
would not have, like, known about it if, like, a YouTuber, like, I watched a Let's Play, like, a guy, like, he was, like, making jokes, like, you know, like, I probably would not have been able to go through it. It's, like, no commentary about playing with something. So it was free for gold. I saw it once, like, nah.
I think
yeah,
I have
that's
it.
How
I don't-
I
yeah.
have it, yeah.
I don't want to do that. I said, I don't want to try that.
Dude, if
That's
that was
just-
two
that's-
players, that'd be great.
You know, here's what I'm thinking. I'm wondering if we can do like a rule of 2, like. But since I'm a pansy, what we should do is like if I can somehow like just share my screen and like I'll be playing through a horror game, but like, would anyone be willing to give me company and so I don't die? Okay,
I'll do
'cause
that.
I think that'd be a lot
dude,
of fun.
dude, I'll be a part of that too. That sounds great.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Like I can probably start
You
with
have, like,
Outlast too.
guests. Yeah, just have guests of, like, from me, Chris, and, like...
Oh yeah, for like different episodes, yeah. You
Oh, that'd
have
be
just
pretty
one of us
cool,
just
yeah.
carry it.
Well, I guess that wouldn't be called World of 2, we're just something different.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Just
but
couch
every-
plays. It'll be couch plays.
Yeah.
Get it! Oh god.
Oh,
Everyone died.
just like the movie. But yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. I have
Yeah.
Dead Space, Outlast.
Oh, yeah,
Dead
yeah,
Space.
that's
I
good
need
stuff.
to play that.
I have
play
Soma.
Dead Space.
I've
I
never.
immediately
Dead
lost.
Space 2.
I don't know
Yes,
I don't know about Soma, but I know that it is like a very highly rated horror game that my friend sent to me as a
It's
gift.
really good, yeah.
It is good. I don't know
What about-
anything
what
about
about-
it, so that'll be.
What about Prey? Wasn't that a horror game?
Prey?
I thought that was on Game Pass.
I remember I
Oh,
watched,
the Prey games. I've played. I think I played the second one.
There was... Okay, continue.
If I'm pretty sure the game is called we're like
Wow.
pretty much it's a co-op game where you could where
Eyes
you
are
control
risen.
one person and the other person controls like a ghost or whatever, and like pretty much you have to get past like these certain areas. It's a very interesting game. but I've only played the second one, and I don't really know what was going on. But it seemed really interesting, and I wanted to know more about it, but I just didn't know. Yeah. Why was the second player a ghost? Who was the first guy? Why are they here? So many questions.
I watched
exactly what
like
happened at
PewDiePie.
Like
Obviously like when I don't know, like probably like 2011 he was like playing Amnesia. I don't know if you heard of that.
Yeah, they just came out with a new
one recently come out?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Came out.
Yeah,
Markiplier is uploading that because that's how he became popular.
That wasn't scary. That was more like jump scares, and that's usually what gets me. It's just jump scares, and I don't really count that.
Just a bunch of jump scares.
It's just really
I remember
cheap.
when those came out. Whenever Five Nights at Freddy's came out, I was.
Oh yeah,
I was no, it's so glorious because I like watched Markiplier like all of his videos.
Oh yeah, I watched them all.
And
like PewDiePie. Great.
I remember I was skipping school, so like I was what happens is like whenever I went to school, what happened is my mom works like 12-hour shifts. She works from like 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. So if I could stay hidden until she left, I'd be golden. So what I remember what I did was I remember getting up, like I remember I missed the bus, I think, and I was like, oh, she's gonna be so mad at me. No, I don't want to do it. Like I'm just gonna hide. And, like I remember I think I went into the bathroom, and I went into the bathroom with my headphones, like my personal bathroom with my headphones. And I just watched. I remember opening up YouTube and then seeing the first Five Nights at Freddy's video on that day. So that day, it's funny, like going back, if I ever watch those videos again, like going back, I'm like, wow, I was skipping school that day. That they came out.
Yeah, no.
That's the thing too about Outlast is I watched a playthrough of that. I watched PewDiePie play that whenever he was uploading it, like whenever that was coming out. So like that's super far distant in the memory, ancient YouTube days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I have Lost in Vivo.
Like. Sorry, I have a.
No, go ahead.
I would kind of I would say Bazinga, I appreciate you introducing this to me. Alan Wake. Bazinga knows about this. I would consider Alan Wake a horror game.
It's a horror game.
I would say so. So like basically how it works is you are a author of a book, and you're a famous author, Alan Wake obviously, and you go to a town. I forgot what the town was called. Bright Falls, right? Bright Falls, and you go with your wife Alice, and try to get a break from all that writing, all that stuff, and you go to this abandoned house by a lake, and then your wife disappears suddenly, and it's so confusing, so convoluted and weird, and they give you, and as the story progresses, it all comes together, and it's like holy shit, and but yeah, your wife disappears, and you are just suddenly wake up from a car accident, and basically how the game works is that you go through these sections trying to find your wife, and it's dark out, and how it works is that there's these dark, huh?
Where am I? I'm out.
No. So basically how the game works is that the light is kind of used as a weapon, as a way of defense, because there are these dark figures sort of taking over, these possessed by darkness per se, and you use a flashlight as a way to, as a means to come. They can come from anywhere. They can be used to attack you. They manipulate things and so on and so forth. And it's so hard to explain without because
I'd say it's more of a psychological game than a horror game.
Yeah. I was just really scared when playing it, though. That's the thing. I don't know if you're with me, but I was screaming horror. Yeah, no, it's a great game, and also you need to get on control, Bazinga. I'm telling you, like that game does so much for the universe, for the Remedy universe. Like I fell in love with with what Remedy's doing just because of the control. Like that.
Yeah, I may have to
that
get on the Series X. 'Cause
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
Didn't
my
Control recently
God.
do something to piss people off?
yeah, there's the Ultimate Edition where like you can get like an upgrade. You had to buy it
You
for
have
Buy
to
it.
full
rebuy it
price.
again. And then they
Yeah.
were just like, I remember they were just like, oh, we couldn't do it, but then they accidentally did
Yeah,
it for some
there's
people, and then they were like, oh, so you can do it, you're just not doing it, and then they haven't responded.
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
realize that was the thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really something.
Yeah, Remedy. Despite that stupid.
It did win Game of the Year
marketing
though, right?
choice,
Like,
it won multiple games of the years and
right,
nominated.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, and that, yeah, no, like I can just imagine that in Series X because I can just, like it is so. Yeah, the control is great. Yeah, we're talking about different things right now. That's for, I'm losing words. I'm saying I'm rambling now. Let's move on. But yeah, Alan Wake, great game. Yeah, that's it.
Out of all of the horror games that I've played, like technically horror, I think I'd have to say my favorite is Resident Evil. Probably
Yours
the remake of 2. Yeah, that's probably my favorite horror game.
So
hard.
what did you say what it was?
Oh, did it cut me out? I cut out?
You're kind of quiet.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
I
really quiet.
Oh, I said Resident Evil 2.
The
The
remake.
Yeah, the remake.
Yeah. I didn't
Yeah,
play a
so-
lot of the Resident Evil.
Yeah. No, that's a good game. That was good.
Yeah,
That
I
was
was
good
playing
stuff.
Resident Evil 2, but it really pissed me off, so
Like
stopped playing.
once I beat in it, I just like I was able to probably speedrun it within 3 hours. I did that
Oh.
once. Like within 3, yeah, it's very like once you know like where everything is. Like I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is nice. Just do this.
Yeah.
Make this guy come here, and yeah, like it's pretty fun. It's a nice little game.
It knows
Really
what it
good.
is, and it delivers
Yeah, it
upon
knows
that
what it
really
is.
well.
Yeah. Like it's a full-on remake too, which is that alone is like it should be praised. Like
I still haven't played Resident Evil 3, and that's really sad because I pre-ordered it.
it's a really easy game. That game's like super easy. It's actually so stupid. It's how easy it is.
Huh.
Like
I always liked Nemesis. I always thought Nemesis looked super cool.
Yeah, I remember like seeing him in Marvel versus Capcom. I didn't know what he was from at the time, but like stars.
The only reason I knew Nemesis was from the Resident Evil movies. You guys ever watched the Resident Evil movies?
I watched
heard they're
one
bad.
of them.
Yeah, yeah, they're awful, but I loved them when I was younger. I know like Nemesis shows up in like the second one. I'm pretty sure. And I was like, oh damn, that guy looks cool.
Doesn't
Yeah.
don't
And
most
then
of the characters die like off screen?
From the Resident Evil movies, I don't
Yeah.
remember. It's been a while since I watched them, but
Yeah, I think like a lot of the
Yeah.
main characters die off screen.
like
But it's like it's very different from like the games, obviously, because I think the main character from the Resident Evil movies is like that girl isn't in the games, and Leon doesn't show up until like one of the later movies as well.
I think Leon dies off screen.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Claire does too. I think it's like no, I think it's Jill and Leon both die off screen, like at the same time.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean,
Spoiler! Thank you.
Right,
do you am I the only one that's like seen like those like the animated like I don't know I think like animated movies am I just crazy because I just seen like these I see like scenes of like Leon doing like fucking kick flips and doing
Oh,
yeah, that's
like
like
Resident
really
Evil 5 and 6.
yeah it's really goofy and over the top and then I
Yeah.
play Resident Evil 2 and I just like barely aiming with a gun so I'm just like where's that
Yeah,
characterization at? Like,
It took that in a different direction, to say the least.
like,
There's a
you
reason
know what
why I
I'm
like
talking about.
Yeah, one.
Didn't
It's
they
funny to watch,
that's
it's
in
really
one.
entertaining to watch.
CGI like series
Yeah.
for that.
It didn't
they
age
announced
well.
that for
Yeah.
Netflix.
But
Yeah,
that's
they
from,
announced
I
that
can
on
imagine that
Netflix.
would be good. But
Those are from Resident Evil.
Oh.
I've never played
I was
either.
actually talking to Chris Fellis the other day how we struggled to name a good like movie adaptation of a game.
I would say
Yeah.
Tomb Raider.
Sonic was. I'd say
new one.
Sonic
Pokemon.
was
Yeah,
great.
like,
I
Pokemon
watched
was
Tomb Raider.
good.
It was not
Came
good.
to
What are
the-
you talking about?
Pokemon was
Which
good.
one? Which one?
The
Oh,
the
this-
newest Tomb Raider.
Can you guys hear
It
me?
Oh.
wasn't
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Sonic was great. On the other hand, I say so far the best.
Pokemon.
No, the
Pokemon.
best.
Pokemon was a good movie.
No.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah, it was.
the best
The
comic book
acting
movie.
was-
I mean, the comic book.
Okay.
The best movie based on a game
see
so
Sonic
far
being
is
good.
Sonic.
I can see something.
Yeah.
Like
I haven't watched
Sonic
Sonic
was
yet.
legitimately great. It was a good movie. It was really fun, and just overall, like the acting was great. I
Jim
gotta say,
Carrey, already
Jim
alone
Carrey was
already just impressed.
fantastic.
Yeah, I can
He
already.
was
Yeah. What?
fantastic in it. Great.
Carrey's a
You
great
wouldn't
actor.
think he would play like Dr. Robotnik well, but man, he
Chris,
was great in it.
did you see the
Yeah.
Pokemon movie?
Yes, I've seen it, and I
Yeah, I've
forgot
seen
it the very next day I watched it.
Oh,
It's a, like I gotta
jeez.
say, it's a super. Like I say this, it's
Alright,
a
alright,
super
alright,
forgettable
alright.
movie.
Yeah, like you probably don't know who
It-
the main character's name is.
It
I
was.
don't.
It
I know
wasn't
Ryan Reynolds
bad.
is in it. Yeah, it's forgettable. Like you watch
like,
it and
it's-
then bam, like next hour.
Okay,
oh,
but
what
you're
movie did we
saying
watch again?
you're saying you're struggling to say a good one though, and that's not bad by any means.
Well, it's the thing is like also it's like it's not directly based on any of the games where the Sonic movie is more.
Okay, so then I don't personally think the movie's good for every reason, but like, for its own story, how would you say it handles its own story thing? I guess would be a question then. I'll ask you. Because if I'm gonna judge a movie, I'd rather say if it's gonna change something, then sure you can go ahead and do that for the sake of it, as long as it's done well.
I think it handles the movie adaptation of Pokemon in a cool and interesting way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because right. There's that, but then. Yeah. No, that's actually true. I'll give it credit for that. That is actually really true. I think the idea of having the two worlds sort of coming together was done well.
What I gotta say is like you'd think for something like that, it wouldn't have been forgotten so quickly. Because like you'd be like, I got it's true. That movie is so forgettable that like it's honestly very bizarre because you wouldn't think. People really stopped talking about the movie quickly, but like it's like the first live action you've seen of Pokemon ever.
Yeah, that's actually true.
No
That's
one
very true.
talks about it anymore.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Well, it like just like it was like it went completely under the radar.
Very true. That's very true. Yeah.
I also think the Uncharted film is going to be awful.
Yeah, well, I mean it's Tom Holland.
This
what
is
do you
also
expect?
there's also that, but also there's like 6-7 directors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the behind the scenes
Which for
stuff
any
is really,
film is
really
gonna be
dodgy. Yeah.
Just like
Mr. Skywalker. What?
Well, I only
I
had 2 director changes, so imagine this.
That's what I'm saying.
This is like literally 6 or 7, and that's not like an exaggeration.
Then we think about like stuff from like the Suicide Squad and just it's just.
And then the casting is
Yikes.
just not good at all. It's horrible. Like Mark Wahlberg as Sully, like with that mustache, he just looks even more
Yeah.
racist than he already is.
That's a yikes.
And
Yeah,
Tom
that
Holland,
was a big yikes.
it's nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
like, amazing.
I really I don't have interest in this movie, but that's just because I never played the games. So
I know he's meant to be
I
a
really
younger
haven't played
version,
it.
but he doesn't even sound like the younger version. He slightly looks like him, but I mean that's not how casting works. You don't just cast someone because they like look slightly similar.
Yeah, no, of course.
You cast them
You have to
because they'd actually
have
fit
the,
the role.
that's what they did with Harry Potter. They saw some guy in an ice cream shop and was like, "Dude, this guy looks like Harry
Yeah,
Potter," and they put him in the movies. That's how Daniel Radcliffe became a thing.
that's pretty dope. Do you guys see Hook with
Yeah.
what's his name? I can't think of it. I can't think of his name.
The original.
Yeah, the movie Hook. It's with the guy that played the
There are only
genie
one.
in Aladdin
There's
that killed
so
himself.
many.
Was it like an older?
Well,
Peter
Robin
Pan or
Williams.
something?
Yes, Robin Williams.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
good film. Yeah, that was good stuff. I watched that multiple times.
Yeah.
That was
I've
good.
never seen it.
good
Yeah, it was
movie.
like
Damn.
Yeah, that's something.
Robin
I watched the original
Williams.
Peter Pan a lot.
Well, the premise of it is Robin Williams is Peter Pan all grown up.
Yeah. Like when
Oh,
he's
wait,
like
that doesn't make any sense.
older.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta
see,
watch
doesn't
the movie.
grow.
You gotta watch the movie.
Yeah.
Dude,
I wouldn't
I
blame us
would
for
always,
it,
when
yeah.
I watched the Peter Pan, like the original Disney Peter Pan, over and over again.
Yeah.
I even watched the live action one, which I didn't like, but like the animated one, that was a good movie. Something really bothered me, and it's just a little random thing, but like after when like Tinkerbell was dying or something, and they're like, "Oh, you gotta believe in the fairy in order to bring her back," and like she's like, "But I don't believe in fairies," even though like Tinkerbell's right in front of her. It's like
That's
it
kind of
just
like
doesn't
with
make any
it,
sense.
like
Yeah,
chapter
it's like
2,
I don't
where
believe in
like
it,
how
even though he's right in front
Pennywise
of you.
dies, yeah.
Yeah.
And they just start insulting
So like,
him, and that's how he dies.
damn man.
Yeah, it's really stupid actually.
Man. You guys ever? Speaking of going back to horror, you guys watch the original miniseries?
It miniseries? I didn't know it was a miniseries.
The
I've
original,
seen
the
clips,
original
yeah. I've
miniseries.
never seen the whole
I
thing.
didn't, I've only seen it one.
You've seen the newer
Cool.
ones. I always see a lot of
It one
people
was
are,
pretty good.
like people who've seen the miniseries always say they prefer the miniseries to the new one. And to
Mhm.
those people, I have to say, have you recently seen the miniseries? Because if you've probably recently seen it, you would know that it's awful.
Probably is.
The
Yeah,
miniseries.
Chris with
it's
the
really
hot takes
goofy
today.
and over the top.
Hey, dude, it is awful. You see,
Yeah.
watch the original miniseries and tell me it's good. I bet you can't.
I think it's
Alright.
more like a
It is
nostalgia
awful.
factor, really.
Yeah, that is 100% nostalgia because those movies are awful. Like, I gotta say, the new one is way better than the miniseries.
You guys
Yeah,
see
I
the
actually
thing?
really liked it, chapter 2, apart from
I
the
always
ending.
wanted to watch the thing. I actually had some Thing comics. I didn't know were a thing.
Oh man.
But I had some Thing comics, and it always made me want to watch the movie, but I never got around to it.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
that
yeah.
was intense.
It was like I've always seen clips of it, and it always seemed like it was just super bizarre and creepy how the thing just kind of worked.
Yeah, it is.
It's kind of
The
gross
thing, the
too.
superhero. Wait, what? Wait, I'm confused.
Like the
Yes,
thing.
the
You ever see
superhero.
like the original
Yeah.
thing?
There's a movie for the thing.
Yes. we're not talking about the character from the Fantastic Four, Bryce. We're talking about the horror movie, The Thing.
Oh, okay. I just heard that and I just immediately just
That
switched
sounds
up my
fantastic.
gears.
That's really funny.
That's what the writers said when they wrote that.
Yeah, they really thought they did something like
I like.
No.
Never mind. I trolled a lot of people. I trolled a lot of people at work yesterday. It's raining. It's been raining really hard here the past few days, and like there's floods and all that wonderful junk. But like basically,
nice.
my job, I go out and I give groceries to customers. So I have to go out in the pouring rain. And we came back in. Like I went out with one of the guys I work with, and we came back in. And he's like, it's like, dude, he's like, this is borderline waterboarding, like with the masks and everything. He's like, we can't breathe, and it was really funny. And like there was the girl that was there with us, and like, it's like, you know what waterboarding is? And then she's like, and then the guy I'm with is like, the sport, and she goes, oh yeah, the sport, waterboarding.
Oh man.
That's not like that's an entire war crime. It's not something to taken lightly.
Yeah.
It's like a war
I know
crime.
in the new Modern Warfare campaign, like there's a mission where like you're getting waterboarded and you have to try and survive it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I watched the report and had like a lot of like the actual waterboardings from like
or whenever
you're
torturing the guy.
It's a really good film as well, yeah.
Huh, so
Whew, man.
talk about stuff, horror and stuff like that. Anything else?
Yeah, we've been going on for a minute, but something I do want to talk about on the podcast is horror goes along with a lot of things. Like it's a great combination for a lot of things.
Right.
Did you guys hear about?
in some ways?
Well, did you guys hear about the Aquaman spinoff that I've heard about, or they're thinking like it was like a. They're thinking of someone. I've heard that they were thinking about doing a horror spinoff of Aquaman, where it's like all based in the trench. Or
Oh
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I remember that.
Is
Yeah.
that a thing?
That'd be cool.
I don't know. The reason that's the thing is because like the person who did Aquaman, James Gunn, is like a horror director. Like he did the Conjuring movies, and he's obviously really good at horror.
James
so
Wan.
he
Yes,
probably wanted to
James
do
Gunn.
something with it. That's
James
Speaking of James Gunn,
I forget his name.
Is that horror related?
Yeah, no, he was like he's in charge of most of the Controverse and everything, and like they
Yeah,
put him
yeah.
in charge of the Aquaman, and obviously he made it and did well, so obviously he's gonna keep doing more stuff. But yeah, that's probably why, because at heart he's a horror director, so
Yeah.
he probably wants to do
Yeah.
something with that, and it does make sense. I mean, he's good at his craft. His horror movies are
Yeah.
good. Like both the
that's a
Conjuring
nice
movies are really good,
segue.
and it's really rare for a horror movie to be good, I might add, because especially modern day horror movies, which are just like most of them are just
Cliches
cash
upon
grabs and stuff like
cliches.
that. Yeah, it's just like ugh. All right, so what are you gonna say?
Yeah, speaking of James Gunn, I was talking to Chris about this earlier, but apparently, well, I say apparently, it was like official that he could have done the Superman film instead of the Suicide Squad film.
Yeah.
It's just that's really
That's
weird.
not bad. That's not
Yeah,
bad.
that's
I mean,
weird.
Yeah, that's
I wouldn't
very
want him to
strange.
do that.
A Superman film, yeah. Yeah,
He
no,
make-
definitely, yeah. He
Like
doesn't
when
make
he's
Guardians
not
of the
doing
Galaxy.
horror, he's making really wacky,
James Gunn doesn't
films.
usually do
that, like,
horror.
over
He
the
got
top.
the name wrong.
James Gunn did do that one horror movie with that one thing that was
The
kinda like
Scooby-Doo.
Superman.
Brightburn.
Like the live
Brightburn,
action
that's what it was
Scooby Doo. Oh
called.
yeah, he did do that.
Yeah, that was James Gunn. Yeah.
What did he do? He did something with the live action Scooby Doo. Was he like a producer? Did he direct those movies?
I don't know.
I would be shocked if he did.
No, he did something with the original live action Scooby Doo movies. I'll look it up right now.
I don't know about that. Man, those live action Scooby Doo movies are great.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, they're so 2000s.
Was
Yeah,
James
they
Gunn?
really are.
I think they probably came out when I was.
Man, that was good
James
stuff.
Gunn was
You
the
both of them were good,
screenwriter for those movies.
I didn't
Well,
realize.
that's-
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's like pretty common. Like directors to be screenwriters of their own film.
He didn't.
Did he
No,
direct
he
the
didn't
film?
direct. No, he didn't direct it. He was
Yeah,
just a screenwriter.
yeah, no, yeah, similar to, like
Um,
James Wan.
No, I'm saying like
whoever-
like it's
Yeah,
common
it's
for
just like-
directors to also be screenwriters.
Yeah.
It's like the easiest way to like get into it all.
There goes Chewbacca.
God, who was the
damn.
guy who shot that?
Just eviscerated both of us down.
I do. Yeah. Before I end it though, I do want to talk about like I was saying, Star Wars goes along with a lot of things. Horror goes along with a lot of things. What do you guys think of Star Wars and horror?
Star Wars and
You cut
horror.
out.
Yes.
Yeah, you can call.
Wasn't
said
there, like,
horror-
That zombie
Have you ever
Horror-
read the book Death Troopers?
Yes, I
yeah,
have.
Isn't there like those
Oh
I
yeah,
have-
yeah.
that zombie one. Yeah.
things?
And there's Blood Harvest.
That's what it could be.
That's a Left
Yeah,
4 Dead campaign.
I know what it could be, but like, what do you guys think of it? Do you guys like? You guys have any more ideas, things like that?
I mean, there was that
Well,
thing,
like-
that whole thing of like the concept of a Hoth horror movie on
Oh,
Star
that
Wars.
would be so cool.
Yeah,
That would.
that would be kind of sick with like
Like
wampas and
Wampas
stuff like
and-
that.
Yeah.
It kind of goes back to the thing. Remember when we were talking about like
Like a
Hunt
version
Wars,
of the
like, when they
Grey?
added to Battlefront 2, of like wampas and stuff like that. That would be a pretty sick movie.
Yeah.
Did you know that was actually meant to be an empire? They're meant to have like kind of like a horror like kind of thing to it, where it's meant to be like a wampo going
The
on like
Dorothy
this
thing?
base, and there's
yeah.
like like you see like him peering through the ice, and then like a door opens and he kills like 2 snow troopers, and yeah.
Yeah. That was the deleted scene. Yeah, I remember that.
It's not like they're not willing to go there, because yeah, there's already like a thing at one point.
But like, you guys
Thing
know the
too,
Grey
like,
with
yeah.
Liam Neeson, right? Like a version of that on Hoth. The Gray with Liam Neeson is a movie where they're on they're in a plane crash and they land in the Arctic. Like they crash in the Arctic and they have to
sounds like
not
plane.
like the Atlantic. Fucking Antarctica. And they have to go through all that, yeah. And it's pretty good. Liam Neeson did a great job in that movie. I mean, as always. But
yeah, honestly.
it was a great movie. That'd be pretty cool. Zombies have been done a lot of times in Star Wars.
Yeah. I like Night Sisters and all that stuff,
Yeah.
Straight up in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
A horror movie on Dathomir could be pretty good too. I got your back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be.
Night Brothers and Undead Night Sisters. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
I was like so
I
scared.
could see that. Yep.
That was a scary moment in Star Wars Battlefront 2 seeing Anakin do that.
Oh yeah, horror movie stuff, man.
Well, they
Heroic
could
Might
even
pre-patch.
kind of do like a tie-in, so they could just have like a Grievous origin story and make that like a horror film.
That'd be pretty cool.
Because like he used to be like a
Grievous
Kalish
origin
warrior
story?
and like
Yeah. Or even in
at the Republic,
yeah.
like it didn't help Kali when it was like attacked by separatists and
But don't they have a canon, like a canon version of Grievous's backstory already? Where like it's just he wanted more power
I don't
and the
think they
Jedi
do.
refused?
no,
I don't know.
well, I don't think
I
that's
haven't
the
heard
case anyway.
I'm pretty sure
But
it is.
That sounds like something Disney would do,
It's-
though.
it's somewhere. It's just like, you know, they took all the tragedy away from his backstory and just made it just some guy who wanted more power. The Jedi refused him, so because he wasn't force sensitive, and then he swore revenge on them.
I don't know.
That's the
that's
first
really
I've heard
sad.
of it, but to me
There's
anyway, even if that is the case, I think I'll take my version of
Oh yeah,
any day
but,
over that.
I mean,
yeah.
if it's already
That's
done
anyone
in
would.
canon, there's not much you can do about it.
There was a thing in Legends about in the creation of Grievous. What Dooku did when he was trying to bring him back was that like he used Sifo-Dyas's blood. Like he used his
Oh yeah,
organ.
yeah, because he wanted to try and make him force sensitive or something.
Jesus
And like it
Christ.
didn't work, yeah.
I know in Legends they were saying if Grievous was force sensitive, like even like Palpatine even like feared the thought of a force sensitive Grievous.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no.
And that would literally be like the most. Like,
Yeah, because you
him
can really
and
control
the-
his anger and
already-
stuff like that. So yeah.
He's already free OP, but if he's
Yeah,
force
yeah.
sensitive, Jesus. Yeah.
My God.
Well, this is gonna be a long
So, yeah.
video.
Yeah.
But that's it, I guess. Unless anyone has anything to add on.
No, no.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Does anyone want to end it?
So, this is how we do the outro or something like that, right?
Yes.
Bazinga said the intro.
Oh yeah,
Makes sense.
okay.
We're gonna do the outro.
So, yes, that's that. That's the end of the episode. You can follow Couch of Serenno on Twitter. You can also subscribe to the channel.
Subscribe.
Because most of the people who view this aren't actually subscribed. So, you know, as I'm saying this,
We have 9
It's-
subscribers.
you know, click that button. I like to,
It's just
but
a
you
click.
know, mainly subscribe because that's important. Our Twitters will be in the link in the description, and yeah, I think that's it.
All right, so we're done.
We're done.
This one is literally nearly killing Luke, so you know.
I mean, like, who
Kinda
do
does
you
it.
guys think is scarier, Grievous or Vader?
I felt bad for Vader.
I don't know, because
Like,
On-
I mean, just like
That's not.
well,
This is
Vader
stupid.
is, but,
This
like,
is
No,
very
yeah, well,
stupid
yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
This is
No.
important, man.
This
We're
it doesn't
deciding
work
for
like that. No. Okay, first off, Grievous is scarier than Vader. Second of all, Empire as a whole is scarier than the Separatists. The Empire controlled the entire galaxy. They had intimidation. They literally wiped out the Jedi Order. scary.
But
They have
it depends on
complete
what you're going for. 'Cause a lot of
fists.
people
But on the
thought the
heroes
Jedi
as
Order were
well.
evil, so if anything, they were heroes to most
Sorry,
of the
you're taking
galaxy.
this too seriously.
Yeah.
You guys
For
are
like
taking
half
this
the galaxy, the
seriously.
Separatists were scary. It was
Separatists.
kind of
No,
Which
no,
is
not
Yes.
half the
Yes.
galaxy. Yeah, and for half the galaxy they weren't.
Not exactly.
The
half.
entire galaxy was like, oh shit, it's the Empire.
Not
Like,
out of it. Part
like
of the galaxy. The rebellion
people
was, like,
were
exactly.
independent. People were literally like, you know what? I don't want separatists. No,
Just sounds like a
no,
presidential
separatists can
debate.
go away. But then
Yeah,
the Empire, they're like,
separatist threat was scary. It's like communism in real life in the U.S.
yeah,
where,
but
like,
people
feared
stood up
communism.
to the
That's like how it
separatists.
was.
People could
Okay.
stand up to the separatists. You can't stand up
Yeah,
to
but
the
people
Empire.
stood up to
Yeah,
the
if anything,
Empire.
the
But the thing is
separatists
that,
are
like,
standing up to the Republic, so...
No, they
the
die.
thing that, like, a lot of the inner core worlds, and I say most of the galaxy, were for the Empire.
The Empire
So, like,
blew
some
up
of them
a
is good.
planet.
Because they struck fear.
The Empire
struck fear to
blew up
to the planet.
a
It
planet.
depends on the planets. A lot of them, like, just respected
Yeah.
what the Empire was doing,
Yeah.
and then also
Alderaan
there's a
can't
lot
be
of good to
afraid
some
of the
worlds.
Empire. Alderaan's dead. So Alderaan was afraid of the separatists.
I hope you're recording. I wish I was recording. That was golden.
Yeah,
That
but
was-
the separatists came up with the idea for the Death Star, so
That's not
technically-
true. That's not true.
Oceans are scary.
Technically, the
Well,
Republic came up for the idea of the Death Star just as much as the Separatists did, because it was
Yeah, but it wouldn't
Palpatine.
have happened if
But it was a
Dooku gave
Geonosian
the
design.
plans to
No,
pop
Yeah,
the
the
up.
Geonosians
design-
designed the design for the Death Star, so it was technically
Yeah.
mostly.
Are we racist now?
Yes.
Whoa!
Well, Dooku gave the plans to pop up the lesser.
Oh, it was the
So
it was the
Pop of the Lesser wasn't the
Geonosians.
hero he
Geonosians. Oh,
was.
they must be. That's the Japanese guy. Must have been on the Axis. Go into concentration camps.
I don't know what you're getting
Like it's,
I don't know how
it's
this
true
has got
though.
to here.
Like
Pretty...
it's true though. It is true though. They designed it. This is
I
like
was
how
meaning
he came
more
up with the idea.
the heroes. Like out the heroes in the game, not actually like in universe who's scarier. I guess.
Yeah,
well,
really.
yeah. if that
Yeah,
makes
we somehow
sense.
got here. Yeah, but
I
no.
mean, what, like, there's
Hope you
Bosk,
guys-
game.
Dooku,
What is that?
Bosk, Dooku, Maul, and Grievous versus like Palpatine, Boba, Vader, Iden. I guess Bosk again, but I mean that doesn't really count. There's other people as well. I forget.
No,
See, sometimes
I
it's
think
cool,
Darth Vader was
scary.
scarier because he actually killed people. He didn't like run in
Who?
to Obi-Wan like
He didn't
Grievous
run
did.
away from Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like in a lot of the Clone Wars, Grievous was full on fighting Obi-Wan and engaged him multiple
Yeah.
times.
Okay, so we're basing it off.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying that. Like,
It's
it was
hard
like,
to
do
pick.
you think
Because-
Grievous or like Vader scarier than Grievous?
I-
Like if you
Yeah.
were like right at the end of the
Vader
corridor
was
and you
scared
saw
of a
Vader
boomer.
or Grievous right in front of you, which one would you be more scared of?
Vader.
God,
Vader
that's
was scared of a
tricky
boomer.
question. 'Cause I know so many like things about these from like different.
I don't know. I
Well,
think
Vader was
Grievous
scared
is
to
pretty
fight him.
scary.
I'm thinking
Episode
two
four.
technicalities.
Okay,
Like, yeah,
Grievous
yeah,
got
his-
beat
his old
by
design
a
and
bunch of
everything.
Gungans.
Yeah, but he killed a lot of them.
Yeah.
He then killed them.
Yeah,
For that.
yeah, that's a fair point. But
There was also an
it's not
episode
valid.
where like 2 clones and Obi-Wan like tackled Grievous and captured him, or tried to capture him.
They tried.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he
that's
ran
the
away.
one.
Exactly, they didn't succeed.
It's actually not a bad topic.
It's very stupid.
Well,
It
yeah,
is,
the-
it is
the-
stupid.
the
It's
question
stupid, but
isn't
also
like who would
kind
like
of
who is
important.
better or who would win in a fight. It's who is scarier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scarier. Like,
I think the
Grievous-
design of Grievous is scarier than Vader.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Vader
Yeah.
is like right, like yeah, he's like
He's
tall and
Vader's
everything,
more
and
intimidating than actually.
I don't know, like, well, it's the same
Like-
thing. Intimidating is scary.
It's hard. It's hard.
I just
But
think
I'm
like
saying
like
overall, there's
Grievous
more
is taller.
characters on the
He has
Separatists that are
forearms,
scary than the
and
Empire
like
in
just
the
his
game.
whole design is like,
Man,
and then
this
the
is
crawl
Yeah.
thing and everything is super creepy, and like all the stuff he can do is like.
well,
Yeah, I thought
And
that's
then-
a pretty simple point. Which is more scary
You really
characters than the
need to get out of hand.
Separatists and the Empire. But then there's also the argument that the B ones are obviously not scary at all. And the Stormtroopers
well, I don't
are
think
slightly more
Stormtroopers are
scary.
scary.
Yeah, but that's slightly more scary.
I know, but then there's also like all the different things that that the Separatists have as well. Like B2s aren't that scary, but I think
That's
Jordan
also
is probably
true.
scarier than anything the Empire has. I guess Death Troopers are kind of scary.
I think BX is kind of scary.
Yeah, BX
Used to
are
be kinda
yeah,
scared
PX
of them.
yeah, PX
They're pretty
that
brutal,
stealth
actually.
thing. Yeah, they could be any one of us.
Yeah, if I jumped on, if I see them jumping and shit, that would be.
So I think we should come to a vote.
Aw.
Because we love democracy.
For who we're gonna play as, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I
clear.
say separatists.
I also say Separatists.
God damn it.
So either one of
So
you
no one
is
dark-
kind of like the deciding factor here.
Because I know what Dark's gonna pick.
I pick Minecraft.
Minecraft's not scary.
No, he's
Is
talking
it?
about
I-
games
They
we
need
should
a title
play.
for 2. I know to play, but
I ran out of coal and I don't have torches.
Oh no.
Back on this again?
I just picked might as well right now. Who sent the tweet?
It was
I'm
Bazinga!
telling you,
It was so Bazinga!
It's
It
so
was so
How was
Bazinga.
it?
Bazinga.
That is so Bazinga with tweet. Like,
Why are you
I would
asking
do
the
something
question?
like that.
We
Listen,
know it was Bazinga.
Monolithic, I don't know.
Don't ask questions. You're
I
not-
wanna
We
confess.
all...
You're
Bazinga,
not gonna
please
get this.
confess.
He ain't gonna confess.
His ego is
We
too
all know how
huge.
he is. Yeah, his ego will not allow for him to stoop so low to admit something that is so
Yeah, that was
simple and
tweeted when
cheap.
I was in college.
What?
He says
That
like,
tweet
during
was
his
sent when
time.
I was in college.
Okay.
I mean, you could have just easily tweeted it. That doesn't.
I was
there's
learning.
no opportunities for tweeting.
I get on Twitter in class and what?
Well, no, because I don't.
I
have
was
full
driving
stream
for
of
8
Wi-Fi
hours and I was
on
having a
Twitch.
full conversation with all of you.
In
I was in
the
film
car, by the way,
studies.
during rain.
So I was in film studies.
This guy
Which
is
is
trying
probably
to
like the most
weather
trying.
It
out.
was totally Bazinga. It was
That's-
Bazinga. We know it was Bazinga. You're not gonna get a confession, Chris. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You might
He,
as well.
here is your confession. If it was anyone other than Bazinga, we would have confessed.
Yeah, like.
Yeah. Now that he is gone, I do have a confession to make. I didn't watch his last video. I forgot.
Who's?
Bazinga's. The werewolf one.
Oh, the werewolf one.
Yeah. I watched
I'd
the
say
moon.
I'd say the moon one was definitely more interesting.
Okay. Just needed to know that.
Yeah,
Who's inviting who, by the way?
inviting who to what? Are we going to Battlefront?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Alright, let me. Still on Destiny 2. I think we're doing some sick synchronized jumps.
Nice.
Could have been in the Olympics.